Alright, sounds are working. My phone went off. That's probably it telling me that I'm streaming. Lore Master of Sotek is live.
No, I just subscribed to you.
Oh, it's working. Wow, that was super easy to set up.
Yeah, I see you streaming. Oh, cool. Hey, everyone's watching.
Oh, what? Yeah. Oh, no, there are people turning in. Oh, no.
You might as well just do some quick battles, man.
Yeah, I suppose
They
I
need to
could
be
do some actual
entertained.
stuff. Hi, everyone. I'm just testing. Hello. 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 Can y'all hear everything okay?
No, there are people turning in.
Does that help the volume? Is the volume better? I'm trying to figure out if it changes when I turn my headphones down, or if you can't see the stream, try refreshing, because I'm watching it on my phone, so I know it's working. Audio is good? Okay. Well, hi. Hello. Hi, everybody. How many of you are there? Oh my gosh. There's 18 of you. I don't think I normally get that many people on my Twitch account. Because I'm thinking, Turin has convinced me that streaming on YouTube is better. Oh, you know what? I should get off Discord for a bit, at least. That way I don't keep hearing myself through somebody else. Or I'll just mute myself. There we go. Hello. Well, I'll tell you what. Fuck it. In the name of testing, why don't we actually do some stuff? What do y'all... So, do y'all want to do quick battles, or do you want to do single player? I was just going to play some Kemmler. Start a Kemmler campaign. I have a Twitch! Yeah, I do have a Twitch. I never use it anymore. I haven't used it in a while, I should say. But yes, I used to Twitch stream a lot. I think I have like 400 followers on Twitch or something. So I might need to, like, alternate. So I just threw this shit together and seeing if it works. Alright, I see some votes for quick battles. I have the beta enabled, so I don't know if it's going to work or not, but let's find out. Whoop, that's not right. I think I turned all my mods off, so if you see anything weird, it might be a... I don't know if we're going to find any quick battles on here. We're probably not, because it's beta. So I'm going to give it like 30 seconds, and if it's not, we'll just play some single player. I don't think it's... Okay, I could show y'all quick battles, but I would have to turn off the beta, because there's nobody on here right now. So if y'all want to see the beta, we can do the beta, but you'll have to wait for a while because I have to turn everything off. So what's the delay on here? It's probably... I'm trying to figure out what the time is. I don't like that I have to turn the live chat on and off to see how many people there are. If you see anything weird, it's probably a mod. Alright, how about we just do some single player? Because that's easy. Let me actually... how do I want to do this? Hold on. I'm going to turn on like 2 mods real quick. So, it should keep streaming. You probably just won't be able to see anything. So let me just turn it back on with some mods. Hopefully it doesn't, like, freak out. Better camera. Building progression icons. Hopefully that works. No great power, 2 points per lord level. And we're good. Okay, I will turn down the in-game volume a bit more. That way I can turn my headphones up. Yeah, let's play some Kemmler. I have been dying to play Kemmler since Mortal Empires was released, but I refused to play him until he got the Krell tree, which is in the game now, if you have the beta enabled, which I do. And if y'all are still sticking around for some reason, after we play like maybe a few turns, a couple turns, we'll go from there. Is it going to turn back on, or do I have to redo it? Hold on a second. I may have to... Oh, wait, no, it's working. Should be working. Is it working now? Hold on, I'm going to turn it on and off again. One sec. One sec. Oh, wait, no, there it goes. Okay. The delay is just longer than I thought it was. Alright.
I am Tyrion.
There's actually quite a bit of a delay. Okay. It's probably a good, like, 30 or 40 seconds. So if you're trying to get my attention, please understand I'm not ignoring you. Alright.
Find me, Gravebound.
Alright, we've got... Let's play some very hard Kemmler here. Has the... Yeah, the update's out. If you go to your Steam page... If you go to your Steam page, you can go click on right click on Total War Warhammer 2, go to Properties, and there's a beta tab. Go to your beta tab, and there'll be a drop down menu. Click it, and you click on Mortal. Shut up. And you click on the Mortal Empires one, and it should give you the updates.
They will all pay.
Am I thick or not? I mean, I'm fat, so if you want to count that as being thick, then yes. Is this my first stream? Yes, this is my first stream. We're not gonna play single player the whole night. I've just been dying to get some. So tell you what, how about like y'all just give me like 30 minutes to enjoy playing some Kemmler, and then if everyone's still around, we'll do some multiplayer. Okay? Also, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I have been winding down for the day. So happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're all having a good day. I have not played a Vampire Count campaign since this came out, so I don't know what any of these new buildings are. The Court Hall. That's pretty good. It's really expensive. Oh my gosh.
Find me, Gravebound.
How's it looking? Oh, I was going to turn down the in-game volume. Fuck. What country am I in? I am in America. With the whole Norska update, do you think Tomb Kings have a chance of... I think Tomb Kings are going to come out in December. I don't think they're going to wait until Norska to release new DLC. Whether or not that's a good decision or a bad decision, I can't say. I have mixed feelings on it, so... But no, I live in Texas. If anybody... How is it not painfully obvious that I live in America? Is my accent found anywhere else? I live in Texas, though. I live in North Texas. Not the Panhandle, like Dallas-Fort Worth area. But yes, happy Thanksgiving to everyone around the world, even if you're not celebrating it. Okay, so the delay caught up. That's weird. So it looks like the delay differs depending on what's going on. Okay, so although I can see it on my phone, if y'all could give me feedback on like how it looks and sounds, that would be great. Granted, I have my phone on the opposite side of my mic, so I'm talking away from my mic. Also, pardon that first load time. The first load battles used. Okay, and I was going to turn down the volume. Let's turn it down to about there. How's it? How's my voice in comparison? Because I could turn my voice up as well. And we'll play some multiplayer tonight. I really want to play some campaign. I haven't played campaign in so long that I've like enjoyed. Just because I like the Warhammer 2 races a lot, or Warhammer 1 races a lot, but I've played a shitload of Lizardmen. And I just want to play some good old vampire counts. Oh, Kemmler, I have missed you so much. He is my favorite vampire count character by a massive margin. From Denmark, I've never been to Denmark, but I really want to go. How's it look? Okay, visual and audios are fine. Okay, fine. Great. Now the real thing is, I should probably, if I'm gonna do like designated streams, I should probably get my laptop. These camera rays are very bright. Oof, it's like almost hurting my eyes, they're so bright. Alright, we'll go ahead and deal with them. And let's have the skeletons come around a bit and have the zombies angle right for his zombies and have the Karen race put a little hustle on. Oh, I start off with Van Hels? That's really nice. I thought I told you to charge the dogs. Charge the dogs! There you go. See if we can't get some buffs going. Alright, so let's muck up the Vampire Lord with some zombies to keep him busy. If I can catch him, which I don't think is going to happen. Oh, here we go. Well, we'll wait until we got him stuck down, and then let's go ahead and get some melee attack on these hex rates and some speed. Also, you have to forgive me if I'm not responding to questions during, or like comments during battles, because I'm distracted. Send in the Karen rates. Alright, we've got him holding still, so let's go ahead and summon Krell. There we go. I love Krell. Krell's probably my favorite DLC. and he's actually free LC, but he's easily my favorite. More magic! More magic! I don't even have my lore passive yet, but more magic. Hey Sebastian, thank you for coming by for today's test stream, which is going already much longer than I had anticipated. I had hoped to turn it off for 3 seconds, but then it sent out YouTube notifications to everybody, which I guess it's good to know that it does that. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means I'm gonna actually be here a while. Eat them! Eat them all! Let's get rid of this. I don't need that. Let's go ahead and throw down Invocation over here. Charge them back into these zombies. Throw down buff on Krell so he's able to whoop up on that vampire. Isn't there like a hotkey that makes them... Yeah, cycle charge. It's J. I need to work on that. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mr. Master CGO, Merther Deepforge, Legion 217, the new Moon Man, Sebastian, who I think left, Kate Fury, Marco Polish, Make Solstheim Great Again. Nice Skyrim reference, bro. I guess, would that be Morrowind or Skyrim? I mean, technically it was in both, but let's dominate. Where was I? Cape Fury. Jose Castro or Jose Castro. I don't know which one you go by. Isoproprial. David David Jetters. Drew Reich. I think that's everyone I've seen so far. Leap of Faith 97. Matthew Zielinski. Isaac Delgas. Rasta 888. Hello everyone. Hopefully I got you all, and if I didn't, I'm sorry. What can I build here? Gold. Crypt. This is different than it used to be. Isn't it? Didn't there used to be a level 2 of this? Oh, they moved where ghouls are. Okay. Okay, I'm getting reacquainted. Sorry, it's been a while. Oh, Terra Guy's Lair is its own building now. Okay. That's different. And there's only... Okay, and this is a totally... Wow, okay, there's a bunch of new buildings. Grant, some of these are just throwing me off because they have different icons. Because of the mod I use. Alright, so let's get gold. Gold! Alright, so I'm going to take Invocation and Curse of Death.
They will all pay.
Is he in range? Yeah, he is. Okay. So let's get some more boys. Spooky boys. And go kick some ass. Come and get it! Age of Sigmar is not evil. Please don't spread that. It was born of evil, but that does not mean that its life is dedicated to evil. David the Duke, hello. Ah yes, it is almost Black Friday here in Texas. I am using mods. From anyone who is curious, the mods I'm using right now are 2 points per level for lords. Excuse me. I'm also using the better camera mod, and let's be greedy. And dang, that was a mistake. What other mods am I using? I'm also using the better building progression icons version 2, and I think that's about it. Oh, here's a good line. I like this. And after we take, like, a little bit, maybe probably, let's say about 16 or 26 minutes, I will turn off the beta and we will play some multiplayer. How does that sound? We'll go play quick battles, because that's, like, the hot thing these days. Alright, I guess if there's one thing I like about the AI, because the AI is a lot better than it has been. It has some weird new quirks that aren't so great, but some of the things I really like, for instance, the fact that the AI, if it has reinforcements coming and it's super outmatched, it'll actually deploy where the reinforcements are coming in and try and like give them a chance to catch up. Why is Kimmler my favorite vampire count lord? I love Kimmler because I haven't actually finished his lore video. It's sitting in work in progress and has been for a while now. But Kimmler has one of my favorite stories as well. I like necromancers more than vampires because they're just regular human beings. Well, they're not regular, but they're still human who accomplish amazing badass things. And I have always been a sucker for like summoning classes in video games and MMOs and stuff. And Kimmler is like the ultimate summoner because he has Krell. And Krell is also like one of my favorite characters. He's just a super badass. And Kimmler is like literally just this super crazy haggard old man. And I fucking love him for it. Like he's just kind of batshit crazy, but manages to pull it off because he's so powerful. And he's just great. I just love everything about him. And the Gotrek and Felix novel he shows up in, he is a phenomenal villain. Like, he's the only villain in the Gotrek and Felix series whose story took 2 books to tell which are Beast Slayer and Zombie Slayer, which, I mean, that just lets you know how fucking ridiculous he is, and it takes 2 books for them to finally defeat him. And he still gets away, like, in one piece, mostly. Which is impressive, considering, you know, it's Gotrek and fucking Felix. Summoners are lazy wizards? Maybe, but they're awesome wizards. Alright, I don't want to get too close to this forest because he's got other direwolves in there, and if those bats team up with them, we're going to have problems. Alright, so let's go ahead and have the zombie wall engage. And we're going to spread our... Whoa, Karen Race? Yeah, that's fine, actually. Have them go around this way. We're going to go ahead and bring these guys around. They actually are ethereal, so they can ignore terrain penalties, which means they won't slow down going through this forest. And they also don't take combat penalties for fighting in the forest. Go ahead and buff skeletons. I actually feel that Van Haal's Dance Macabre is like one of the best tools that Vampire Count players have that they so rarely use. Alright, okay, so he actually caught me, which is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. We're gonna wait until that little necromancer gets... he caught me over here, too. It's just Velbats and a really low unit of dogs. So let's just cast a basic invocation. And Kimmler should be more than capable of leading the fight here. Alright, Karen are getting surrounded, but none of these guys do magic damage, so I'm not worried about it. We will pop a Van Haal's. Let's do this. Let's disengage our Karen Wraiths. Backwards. And let's go ahead and put a Van Haal's over on these direwolves. And we're gonna send our Karen Wraiths over through here. And I'll go ahead and invocation the Hex Wraiths, who just need to hold on a little longer, and I can get a good rear charge over there. Man, I had Velbats. Alright, let's go ahead and pop Krell out. Oh, that's a... Okay, so this is a bug right here, is that the summoning Rictus is, like, super far away. Like, the actual summoning portion, so, like, that's as far away as I can actually summon him, even though it looks like I can do it further. So, like, I'll save this replay and report that as a bug. So we'll send Krell to go deal with that jerk. Send them in. And I'm going to see if I can push Kimmler through this fight. Looks like they killed our direwolves. Not a huge deal. I mean, we can always make more, of course. Go ahead and buff these guys. Let's have him kill those dogs. See if I can get Kimmler out of this fight. We are playing on very hard, for anyone that's curious. I should do a series on Gotrek and Felix. Yeah, if I want to kill myself. Gotrek and Felix might be something we eventually do, but it would have to be broken down by... I'd either have to break it down by book, or I would have to break it down by omnibus. But there's no way I could do the whole series in a single video. That would be a living nightmare. Alright, so let's have them focus their efforts on the direwolves. No, that's not gonna help. Okay, so we'll get another Van Haal's here. I'm gonna run over here. Okay, the direwolves are pulled out, so that actually gives us an opening to retreat. And we're gonna throw some more healing on them, because they're our most important unit right now. Okay, we're gonna have them come over this way. Get a nice rear charge into these skeleton warriors coming out of the forest. Money shot. And also some zombies, apparently. Alright, that should start to collapse that side of the battle. And oh my gosh, I've got a bunch of disengaged warriors. Let's get these... What are these, skeletons? Yeah, let's get them spread out nice and wide and go ahead and swoop in. Kimmler's getting a little overwhelmed, but not in a way that I need to be worried about him. Alright, we need to get Krell out of this zombie pack. This is like the worst place he could be. Like, he does really good damage, but man, I've got a good surround on him. This sucks. Push my troops. Like, can I push out through that? Let me out. Let me. Out. Come on, Krell. You weigh like twice as much as anything. There we go. Alright, good job. So I can bring him out to help me deal with my little necromancer problem. Let's actually pop Van Hels on him to give him a bit of a speed buff, so he can definitely outrun these zombies. Good job. Bring him over here. Kimmler's doing okay. Let's pull the hex rays out and get another cycle charge. Okay, he's starting to collapse awfully quickly. Let's get over here and kick some ass. Come on, pull up, pull up, pull up. Alright, we're going to go ahead and charge back in. They've got Van Hels, which, whatever, good for them. It's not going to protect them from a rear charge. Alright, keep trying to force path Krell onto those guys. The Hex Wraiths are doing extremely well. So are the Cairn Wraiths. Actually, so we're just going to leave this combat and charge straight into this combat. We're just going to play some ping pong. So if we can't bring the Cairn Wraiths over here to help us get rid of these guys. Alright. Oh, they're mass collapsing. Okay. Hooray! The real Sotek would be playing Lizardman. Maybe the real Sotek likes some variety in his life. Has that ever occurred to you guys? Did y'all like Archaon, by the way? Random lore question. Is the capital of the Empire always Altdorf, or does it change depending on who the Emperor is? So Jerry Howard, the capital used to change based on who was emperor. Then for it was Altdorf for a good time, and then one of the emperors to be basically decided he wanted it to move, and so didn't they give him a new ability? No, they didn't. Okay, I thought they mentioned that he gets a new power now when he reaches Eternal Bastion, but I guess that's not correct. Alright, so let's go ahead and start buffing up Krell as fast as we can. So we can get Perma Krell. Brought to you by Maybelline. Research. What the heck? I feel like there's supposed to be stuff here and it's throwing me off. Let's see. With Krell, I like to go whites. So let's go ahead and get working on that. Alright. Anyway, what I was saying was, so no, the capital has moved around in the past. Nuln was once the capital of the Empire, stuff like that. But it's been in Altdorf most of the time. And has the... Oops, that's not actually what I want. And, that's like the original home for the capital of the Empire. But it did move around for a while. Nuln was the capital for a super long time. Was it Nuln? I'm having a brain fart, but I think it was Nuln. It might have been like Talabecland or something. Or Talabheim. But there was a different city, I'd have to look at my books, that was the capital for the longest time, and then Grom the Paunch came along, and he just fucking wrecked it. Like, he burned it to the ground. Because the Empire just didn't stand a chance against him at that particular battle. So he basically sacked and completely wrecked the capital of the Empire, which was not Altdorf at the time. And then he proceeded to head towards Altdorf, and then got the shit kind of kicked out of him. Or he was at least wounded, and that's when he decided he was done with the Empire, and he went on to invade Ulth 1. Because Grom the Paunch was fucking ridiculous in all the best ways.
Follow me.
Alright, let's run over here. Can I raise any interesting dead? Nope. Regiments of Renown? Yeah, let's pick up some poison. And then I want some more skeletons and one more unit of zombies, so we can get to that nice level 20. or 20 stack. Have I thought of doing an Age of Sigmar tabletop game like I did for Warhammer a while back? Mr. Master, I assume you're asking... Are you asking if I would play it on Roll20? Because theoretically you can play Age of Sigmar on Roll20, but it doesn't work as well as Warhammer does. Warhammer works well in Roll20 because in Warhammer, here's the major difference between the two. Well, there's a lot of differences, but the biggest reason that particular version is hard to do is because in Warhammer, you measure from base to base. So those little tiles that the models stand on is typically how we would measure how far apart two models are. But the problem with Age of Sigmar is you no longer do that. In Age of Sigmar... What the heck? Yeah, it's minimal, so I'm not sure why you're still talking. So anyway, what I was saying was... what was I saying? Let's get Black X. Oh, Age of Sigmar measures from model to model. So that becomes a problem on tabletop programs like Universal Battle, because Age of Sigmar models, each weapon has a very specific range. So like some melee weapons only have a range of 1 inch, while some have a range of 2 inches, and some have a range of 3 inches, and all this stuff. And the reason that's important is because if, for instance, let's say I'm playing Lizardmen or Seraphon, and I have a unit of Pterodons, okay? And I say, alright, or someone wants to attack my Pterodons. In tabletop, that just meant they had to get base to base, and they could hit each other. But in Age of Sigmar, that means you have to measure from your model, who's on the ground, to my Pterodon, who's flying in the air. And if his range can't reach my Pterodon because the model's too high up, he can't attack it with his melee attacks. And which is, it sounds goofy, but it matters because, like, if I have a Pterodon, his range might actually allow him to hit someone on the ground because maybe he has like a 3-inch melee attack, but the guy on the ground only has a 1-inch attack. So the guy on the ground can't hit me, but I can hit him. And that's a huge part of the strategy of Age of Sigmar that doesn't translate well to Universal Battle, which is the universalbattle.com is the website that I play Warhammer Fantasy on, and still do. Not as much, but I still play. Show me in the rulebook where it says I can't modify my models mid-game. I mean, I guess you could, but considering most tournaments have a painting portion, and there's also like a how good of a sport was your opponent portion, you would get instantly banned. And you'd also be breaking a, like, presumably, you know, like if you broke it off a mammoth, for instance, you'd be breaking like a $120 model that you put so much time and effort into putting together and painting. So I'm gonna say no. That would not happen as much as you may suspect. All right, so let's upgrade our gold. And let's get... I don't really want to waste a slot on this. Let's get one of these. So, the things I must have here, in my opinion, I need a Von Karstein Court Hall. So that's a slot. I need a Terrorgeist Lair, so that's a slot. I need both of these, so that's 2 slots. Oh, wow, they changed a bunch of shit. So these guys have their own building now. Wow, that's actually really interesting. But I've got 2 slots I need to fill. I don't have a lot of options. So let's build a Gibbet. And then... I guess we'll build one of these for now. The Balefire Braziers. But we'll get around to that. Waldenhof. Oof, you got a bit of a garrison. That's a spicy meatball, but I think we can handle it. Jacob Borman. I kind of have a complaint about the Archaon video. I loved it. Archaon's probably my favorite fantasy character. There's some stuff you missed. Okay, Jacob. So if you go all the way to the end of the video, I talk about the Lord of Chaos novels series and my thoughts on it. So here's the thing. I didn't forget it. I deliberately left parts out. And the reason is because the Archaon novel series tells a completely different story than the Army book does. The Archaon from the personal novella series by who's it by? By Rob Sanders is a totally different guy. You know, he loses one of his eyes and has like a giant chunk of warpstone in his eye. He has a lover who there's this whole spiel about, Father Dagobert, who... So what I decided to do is I am here to tell the version of the story based on the characters who are in the Total War Warhammer series. That way people can, like, identify with them and, like, know their backstory and stuff. And in Archaon's case, you have two different versions of them. But the one that's used primarily is the one from the Army book. He's the one that showed up in the End Times. He's the one that's, of course, in the Army book and was played with players in tabletop. And he's the one that shows up in Total War Warhammer. Not... Where's his name? Not Rob Sanders' version. Rob Sanders had a very different man playing Archaon. So what I decided to do was that I took Archaon's life from the Army books, and if there were parts that were left out or parts that are just omitted, and it made sense to fill them with parts from his book to round the character out better and make a better story, then I would use it. But there are stuff I would leave out or completely changed. For instance, Rob had it so that the Altar of Ultimate Darkness, for instance, was on a black arc named the Tower of Spite, which is not correct. The Altar of Darkness is a thing inside of an actual tower that's on the ground. It's not a black arc. But he decided it should be a black arc. And in his story, Archaon takes the black arc and leaves Nagaroth and goes to, like, the southern hemisphere, or the southern pole, where he meets... That's where he finds Morkar's armor, is in this volcano on the southern pole. And that's where the author says, here's where the Cliff of Beasts is. Which it's not. We know for a fact the Cliff of Beasts is in the northern Chaos Waste. It's not even in the Realm of Chaos, it's in the Chaos Waste. But I can show you a map of the Warhammer world and say, here's where the Cliff of Beasts is. Like, it's a known location. And so, the author who wrote the Archaon series did a really good job, but he just didn't read the source material, is at what it is at the end of the day. Like, they basically came to him and said, okay, here is some paragraphs about what Archaon did, where he goes, fill in the blanks, and make 2 books out of it. And he said, okay, and he wrote them, and he did a great job. I would highly recommend Archaon's book to anyone that wants to read a really interesting story. And for a lot of people who dislike how, like, easily Archaon fell to chaos, I would really recommend Archaon's personal series by Rob, because it tells a much more compelling story about why he falls to chaos. There's a lot of there are things I hate about the book, quite frankly, like Bellacor's involvement in the book and what he does throughout the book, which if you read the book, you'll notice immediately what Bellacor's capable of. But the author gave Bellacor's powers that make fucking no sense at all in the Warhammer Fantasy universe. And if Bellacor actually had those powers, he would completely shatter the timeline of the universe and would just be unbeatable. But Bellacor's he's powerful, but he's kind of a dumbass sometimes, and he loses a good amount. And it's because the gods like fucking with him primarily. Like, Bellacor doesn't lose because he's incompetent. He loses because the gods screw him over and he's forced to work with a bunch of dummies. But, in Rob's version of the book, Bellacor, like, is literally able to change events that have already occurred and force people to go through the same event over and over and over and over until he gets the version he likes. And that just doesn't make any sense. So, who was that? Who was that? Well, scroll up and I'm going to find you. Where'd you go? Everybody's talking so much. So... I don't know where you went. Everybody's talking. Oh, fuck. Where'd you go? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Where'd you go? Jerry. Jerry Howard. No, it wasn't Jerry Howard. Sorry. It was Jacob. Jacob Brorman. There you go. Hopefully that answers your question. I hope that didn't come off as, like, angry or anything. I'm actually really glad you asked that. I was really worried about that when I made the video. I was like, someone's gonna have read the Arcanine novels, and they're gonna hear me, like, talking about parts of it, and they're gonna be like, what the fuck, man? This isn't the story I read. And so that's why. So I hope that satisfies you. I mean, granted, at the end of the day, when I tell a lore story, I tell my favorite version of it using the sources I can find. And it may be that you don't like the version I find. And that's okay. It's okay to have differing opinions. And to, like, think that maybe, like, you might look at the lore and say, I kind of prefer this version of the lore. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are some people who get really hung up about, like, what's the right version and what's the wrong version. I have really strict rules to myself about what I consider canonicity. And I am more than happy to explain those rules to anyone who wants to talk to me about it. But at the end of the day, everyone kind of has to pick their own version of the lore. But my only requirement when someone talks to me about lore is they have to have rules, and then they need to be consistent within those rules. So, for instance, if someone comes to me and they're like, I want to talk about the war, I want to talk about the lore that's most relevant and dictates how Total War Warhammer is made. I say, okay, then you're going to want to play by my rules. But if they come to me and they're like, I really like 6th edition, so I'm going to study 6th edition lore, and I consider that canon. That's okay, too. Then great, that's you. Then I would go out, buy all the 6th edition army books, and learn you some 6th edition lore. You know? That's like, you know, Arc Warhammer isn't wrong when he does lore. But if you were to come to me and say, alright, so if I'm making a video based on characters in Total War Warhammer, I want to use Arc Warhammer's videos, I would say, fuck, no. Like, stop. Because that's wrong. Like, his version of lore is not the version they're going to use in your game. So if you're learning his lore and hoping it's going to give you all the lore you want and need to understand the Warhammer universe that Total War Warhammer is based on, Arc is absolutely the wrong person to go to. That doesn't mean he's always wrong, and that doesn't mean that, like, he's a disgrace and, like, a liar or anything. It just means that he studies a different version of the lore. Arc Warhammer studies a completely different edition. He focuses on much older stuff, like 6th edition, 5th edition. Primarily 6th. But Arc doesn't know jack shit about 8th edition, I can tell you that. Let's... Krell! I love Krell's voice acting. I'll just sit here and, like, click on him a whole bunch just to hear all the stupid shit he says. Well, it's not stupid shit, it's awesome shit. But... Come on, get in there! I thought I gave you an attack order, I guess I didn't. Get those ghouls. Their poison doesn't mean jack shit if I'm a ghost. I'm too spooky for that. I like that they gave Krell, like, a mix match of Chaos. I'm just glad he has unique voice lines. Which actually, we'll talk about some interesting stuff in a bit. Once again, if you're new here, happy Thanksgiving. If you're from the United States. If you're not from the United States, happy Turkey Day. I know you're not celebrating Turkey Day, but you should, because Turkey Day is fucking delicious. I had a wonderful day with my family. For those of you who maybe don't know me super well, I'm a big family person. I absolutely adore my family. They drive me batshit crazy sometimes, but and sometimes I hate them. But most of the time I love them very dearly. So getting to spend an entire day with them was very spoiling to me. Okay, we got him, so let's come deal with this corpse cart. Someone donated £5. Ivilo Tsonif. Man, I butchered that. Love your content. Thanks for the awesome lore videos. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your support. That actually helps me a buttload. You guys help me more than you can possibly imagine. Archaon has been doing so incredibly well, and the reception to it has been so overwhelmingly positive. I was literally... I shit you guys not. I was like crying myself to sleep I was so overwhelmed with the positive reception to Archaon. Because I think for a lot of people that was like my big coming back. Man, vampire counts fighting each other is so fucking atrocious. Tell you what, you think vampire counts fighting each other is gonna be atrocious? I bet when we get Tomb Kings, that's gonna be fucking ridiculous. Because you're gonna have like archers and giant monsters. Much more giant monsters than the vampire counts have. And I bet it's just gonna be fucking absurd. Good amount of kills in the Hex Race. They're doing really good for me. Alright. £5. So what's that in real money? It's probably like $6, maybe $7 if I had to guess. Yeah, sorry. Archaon and Arch Warhammer are two different things. Arch Warhammer is a YouTuber. He's very different from me. I encourage everyone to check out Arch Warhammer's channel. He has a very different style of storytelling than I do. Go watch him. If you like it, great. Stay, subscribe, enjoy your time there. If you don't like it, then, you know, come back and have a seat. Or you can, you know, and you can obviously support both of us. It's not a competition. Some people like to act like it's a competition, and I very strongly disagree. Me and him have our focuses, and we're incredibly different individuals, and I respect him for what he does. I think sometimes he likes to tangle in topics that are a bit above our pay grade, so to speak. He kind of likes to insert himself into really interesting things, but I'm not here to judge him, so... If you want to hear people shit talk each other, you have come to the wrong place, I'm afraid. You'll have to go satisfy that urging elsewhere. Oh. Have we always had this one? +1 unit experience and +1 capacity, or is that new? I feel like that's new. Okay, let's get Foster Terror. So please, if you're in my chat, please know... Oh, that's actually euros? I'm so sorry. Evalio, can you tell I don't travel much outside of the States? I'm so sorry. I just made myself look like a dumbass. I'm so sorry. So yeah, if you're in my chat, please don't shit talk Arch. I don't want to see that. If you want to shit talk somebody, go somewhere else. It's not the community I'm interested in fostering. Let's see. Ryan James, thank you. My name is also Ryan. There you go. That's y'all's little secret reveal today. Is my name is Ryan. I know a lot of Ryans nowadays. It's weird. All right, tell you what. So let's fight this quest battle to get us a pretty sword. And how about this? How about after we take Sylvania, like the entirety of Sylvania, so east and west, I will turn off this game, turn off the beta, boot it back up. I'll leave the stream on so I can talk and we can just chat. And I'll turn the beta off and we can go play some quick battles. Does that sound okay? Appreciate all the kind words, gentlemen and gentle ladies. Gentle ladies. Skip! Because there's no talking, because they only made voice lines for one Legendary Lord per quest battle. Which, okay, I guess. That's one of the things that... Oh, so, you know what, I'll save that for the break, when we're talking. I've actually got some interesting stuff to tell you guys about. Sotek's been busy theorizing. I have a lot of skellies, but I don't have enough skeleton spears. That's the problem. Alright, we'll let the zombies eat all the shooting. We're gonna run these guys around back. Karen Race, you are on Kimmler protection duty. And my bats will use to stimmy up the shooting once we're in a bit closer. Oh, I do need to worry. I do have Nightside to deal with, don't I? Yep. Reiksguard. Oh, they're Reiksguard. Even worse. So let's actually keep the Hex rates Actually, wouldn't the dire pack be better for this? Well, the dire pack doesn't have armor piercing. All right, so let's keep these two spooky boys right there. Do I have physical resist? Oh no, that was my hex race. So these dogs we're gonna use to take out the shooting line. But these two we're going to use to take out the Rex Guard. And they usually veer off to the right in this battle. So we're just going to go ahead and get moving. Bats we're going to bring around this way. Dire Wolves we're going to creep up just out of range. Oh man. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start moving these guys up, and as soon as those... Where are they going? I've never seen them do this before. Normally, they take a defensive position alone. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm more than happy to engage much faster than normal. Okay, let's go ahead and run our dogs up then. And we're going to bring our bats in to hop on those ranged units. Alright, and we do want to bring this particular contingent more over this way. Wait for it. Blobbing is actually good for the undead. Not so good in multiplayer battles, mind you, but... Alright, we're just going to dive in on these halberds. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run around this way to get away from those halberds. And then we're going to thread a needle here and go after these guys. Alright, we're going to throw down our bats. These guys, our dire wolves, are getting chopped up by these swordsmen, but that's fine, I don't really care. So let's throw Van Hells on the dire pack to give them increased melee attack and speed to hunt down those Reichsguard nice and efficiently. And Krell's still got 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and throw down a heal over here. Some heals going. Let's pull out the Karen Wraiths so they're not quite as just being stuck in a pile. The bats are doing really well. It's grand. No, don't get stuck on fucking swordsmen. Just go after these people. Alright, so we've broken those guys. So I'm going to bring the Hex Wraiths over, and we're going to have the Dire Pack pursue the Reichsguard. Go ahead and pop up Krell. I mean, this fight's pretty much over, but... Yeah, go get that Empire Captain. Where the hell are you assholes going? Go, do your job. Alright, we're gonna bring them in here. Bats, keep doing your fucking job. Nobody cares about you, just go die. Throw down the Van Hells on Krell. Throw a nice big heal on us. Krell's right there, of course he's impressed. Krell's your bae. Krell is bae. The greatest of bays. Alright, and we're just going to do a full surround on these halberds. I've actually been playing a decent amount of multiplayer lately. My lizardmen are doing pretty okay. I've been experimenting with a lot of builds. I try and run generic lords because I feel like running legendary lords all the time just gets really fucking boring. So I've been taking a lot of regular Slawn, and I'm having pretty good success with it. I managed to beat a pretty... I've managed to start having a... I win most of my battles. But with my regular Slawn builds, it's been doing okay. Cape Fury, I already have a Patreon. If you'd like to donate to it, which I would be thrilled, you certainly do not have to. Just subscribing and showing up to be a part of the community, leaving comments and likes, that does more for me than you can ever know, or watching ads. For those of you who want to support YouTubers, one of the best things you can do is just turn off ad blocker when you watch their videos. That being said, if you are determined to support me further through Patreon, which I certainly would not dissuade you from trying. Oh, they gave him a starting point in this. That's really cool of them. Wow, I really like that a lot. What was he saying? Raise Dead, and let's do Dance Macabre. You can go to, I think it's just www.patreon.com/Loremaster of Sotek, one word, or it might be L Sotek, like /L Sotek. It's one of those two. I don't know. I'll put a link in when I get off for tonight. If anyone, if you're still around. But, yeah, things have been going good, though. If y'all have been watching Turn streams, you've probably seen me there a lot. That's where I've been hanging out quite a bit lately. I really enjoy hanging out with Turin. He's a cool cat. What's this? Oh, we got a bonus Necromancer. Da-da-da-da. I'm not going to put him in Himmler's army, because I don't... Necromancers are a perfect... Wait, what is this? Skill dump. Put extra skill points here once you've... What? What? Wouldn't it be better to just give them a skill? Alright, so here's the thing. Wizards are one of the most criminally underdeveloped things CA's created because they just don't know what to do with them, which is pathetic. Or not pathetic, it's just dumb, because they're not that hard to add cool things to. This is ridiculous right here. Skill dump. Actually, you know what? I do want him in my art. Because, dude, okay, so I'll put it this way. I haven't played a Himmler campaign in so long that I've never had the ability to put a Necromancer who can get a corpse cart in one of these armies. Let that soak in. I am more than happy to add a corpse cart Necromancer to my army. That's how long it's been since I've played Himmler. That's not true, because I played with him when Krell came out. I guess I just didn't look at the Necromancers. Rasta, that is not a mod. Oh, wait. No, that shouldn't be a mod. I don't have a mod turned on for heroes. How long am I going to stream? I don't know. Till I no longer feel like... Oh, skill dump isn't CA. Oh, okay. See, that's weird, though, because my... you know, it probably is the mod. I only have it so that I get 2 points for Lords. Because I think heroes get too many skill points right now. I think heroes should cap at 30, not at 40. Unless they added that in for that express purpose. But, like, a problem I have with heroes, funny enough... Sorry, heroes. Is that for Warhammer 2... So, heroes used to have this massive blue tree that was, like, the same size as Lords. And then they changed it so that it's just this, so it's just relevant stuff. But at the same time, they lost a lot of those really neat little tweaks they could add to your army, like better resistance against enemy heroes and crap like that. And now they have way less stuff here. I don't know. Anyway. So ignore me. Sorry, that's not CA apparently. That's just me being stupid. But no, I only have it so I get double skill points on Lord. See? I only have... Well, you'll see when he levels up. But I do not have double points on heroes because I think that's ridiculous. Alright, so let's... I guess we should deal with these guys next. How many am I up against here? Zelig, Kadon, Caden. Oh no, their garrison is trash. If we lure them out, we can easily stomp these fools. Yeah, sorry everyone. The skill dump is not CA. It's just me. I'm just stupid. What do I think of 40k? I like 40k. I don't like it nearly as much as fantasy. I've never really been about gun. I don't like Space Marines. I think Space Marines are boring because they're just big people with guns most of the time. And they're not even people. That's what drives me nuts about them. Like, I can understand that people liked 40k because it was a universe where, like, humans are against this just, like, mind-numbingly crazy shit and, like, have somehow survived, kind of like the Imperial Guard. But that's not even what Space Marines are. They're basically aliens. They're, like, superhuman. They're humans on cocaine. And, I've always hated that. Like, I find it so boring. And they're all they're all so similar. Like, I know there are a lot of differences between the various chapters, but from someone that, like, likes different races, like completely different species with different histories and mechanics and appearance and all this other stuff, Space Marines all just look the fucking same to me. And they're such a major part of the 40k universe, and you just can't get away from them. Like, I play Tyranids, and I love Tyranids, but until, like, their most recent, unless you get, like, an army book, like, I have bought books, like, I bought the core rulebook, for instance, thinking that, oh, I'll get some Tyranid lore in here, and I was wrong. It was literally just about the Imperium. The Imperium is all that matters, and it drives me crazy. In Warhammer, there is no main character. Everyone has moments where they're the main character. Except for, like, the Ogre Kingdoms. The Ogre Kingdoms are almost never the main character. But, you know, they show up in a lot of shit. But, so, I like 40k. But I think I find 40k to be too repetitive, I should say. It's too much of the same all the time for my liking. I also don't like that the 40k universe does this thing that Games Workshop likes to do, where they have massive swaths of time that have just been magically lost to history. So that, because Games Workshop is, like, is literally just too lazy to create the stories for it. Like, that's their only excuse, is that they just don't want to do it. And I have always not been thrilled with that. So, like, because what I mean by that is, like, with Warhammer Fantasy, you can find stories and books talking about every single age in the Warhammer Fantasy universe. If you know what books to look in, you can even find a surprising amount of lore pre-old ones, you know, about the Warhammer world. Like, you know, we're talking about, like, just stupidly old shit. There we go. And 40k, you just have, like, you know, it's in the 41st millennium, but there's, like, so little lore about anything before then. I mean, you can do the Horus Heresy, of course, but, like, I don't know. It's just, I just don't like it. I love Tyranids! I adore Tyranids, and I really wish there were more alien races in the 40k universe than there are. The scope of the 40k universe, when you consider how inactive a lot of the aliens are, or how rare they are, you know, where, you know, the universe has been around for 40,000 whatever years, and, you know, most of your interesting races are just now showing up, like the Tau and the Tyranids and a bunch of other nonsense. I don't know. I just don't. It just rubs me the wrong way. It's just all Space Marines. Nothing but Space Marines. Please don't take offense to that if you're a 40k. Like, don't get me wrong, I play 40k, and I think Tyranids are, like, some of the coolest shit in the universe. I love Tyranids, but they're just, I don't think 40k lore is just the best thing ever, just because there's so many gaps, and it just drives me crazy. It's like Games Workshop seems to derive pleasure from deliberately leaving shit out, is the way I feel about it. And it's been a while since I played campaign. I've been playing multiplayer too much. I'm rusty as fuck. But you know, it's like in Warhammer Fantasy, you cap at 2 playable human races. In 40k, you're barely scratching the fucking surface at 2. Dude, Van Hell's, like, super dead. Or at least outdated. Alright. Krell is doing... What's he fighting? Oh, he's fighting the Ghoul King. I was wondering why he was taking so much damage. We almost got our full surround on our enemy. It's not quite there yet. He keeps managing to wiggle his way out.
necromancer.
I think we're on the verge of breaking him.
Will join us. Now.
Can't fucking click on anything because it's stupid bats. Oh wait, those are my bats. Go! Go, my pretties! Fly! Get out of my way! Thank you. Man, I can't wait to get my Tomb Blade. Tomb Blade makes everything better. So much healing in single player. Let's get our Cairn Rays into this giant clusterfuck. Crow's doing okay. Ghoul King's probably not the best matchup for him, because it doesn't have a ton of armor. So his armor piercing doesn't matter that much, and it's got regeneration of poison, so it's kind of a rough spread. Oh my god. Let's see, can I get off of nice big Van Hells over here? I can. Let's... Where can I center it? I'd like to center it where I can hit Trell, but also a bunch of my dudes. Oops, wrong spell. Yeah, fuck it, let's just do this. I like being able to target the ground. To Krell's side! Well, maybe not Krell's side. To this side! This is a nice big clusterfuck right here. Oh, Krell's got a... or Kimler's got a duel going on. I like it. Alright, we got the surround. Let's see. My bats are once again not doing anything. Go finish off those knights. Let's summon some zombies to help Krell out. And of course, at the end of the day, firing off cheap spells is super important, and that's how you get your Master of the Dead spams. Alright, yep. And Mass Crumble. Hooray! What does Skaven like to eat more flesh from anything that moves or cheese? I think they prefer flesh. What do I think about the Steel Faith mod or Radius mod? I've actually been setting aside some time in the upcoming weeks to take a really in-depth look at Steel Faith. I've never even touched it. I worked with the Steel Faith, the person who made the original mod, quite a bit, originally, like I say. But after he really kind of got off the ground, I stopped working with him so much. And I haven't really approached his mod ever since. Granted, I don't even know if he's involved with it anymore. I haven't seen him. I did join their Discord, just to kind of, like, you know, get a feeling out for what the heck was going on. And they were very polite. They were, you know, I couldn't have asked for a kinder reception than the one I received. So I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and reach out to them and kind of see what I can learn about their mod. So I'm going to be looking at it too. Radius, I've never even played Radius. Never even heard of... I think I've heard of Radius, but I don't think I've ever even seen anything of it. But I've always been someone that I try and stay as close as I can to the people who create content, rather than like modding it to oblivion, because I like to stay true to the designer's vision for the game, which I know may be kind of a weird idea for most people. That's just the way I like to do things. Let's see if anyone else has asked any other interesting questions. Can I talk about the pre-old ones? Sure, I can actually talk to you a bit. So, pre-old ones time, for those of you... I'm not going to bother fighting this because I know a lot of people are waiting for me to get to the multiplayer. You know, this sounds very hard, but so far it's not feeling very, very hard. No, I could have worded that better, but... Okay. God, I really want to get Wind of Death, but I also want to get some other. So let's get Restless Dead, and let's go ahead and grab. No. Let's do this instead. Let's get Dance Macabre and Gaze of Nagash. Sure, that works. All right, this guy's job. Let's do scouting. Charnel Pit? Yeah, that's okay. Man, they need to add some more unique buildings for the vampire counts. They only have one. I should send them an email with some ideas. There should be something in Tempelhof, in my opinion, referring to the great enchanter, Drakenhof. Although I am aware this is his castle, he does pop up at Tempelhof sometimes. Or maybe they could make something referring... I don't know, I'll work on it, but there should be something in a lot of these settlements just for the vampire counts. Because I know they have something in Altdorf and Kislev and Drakenhof, but you figure at least Tempelhof would have something as well. Thoughts. Okay, so... Oh, dang. One of my favorite aspects of Warhammer 1 now is that the Regiments of Renown have, like, cooldown timers. Do you guys think Games Workshop will bring back Warhammer Fantasy after seeing the Age of Sigmar reception? No. No. Age of Sigmar had a very positive reception once it got going. It's doing very well. To my knowledge. To my understanding, it's doing quite well. So no, I don't think they're going to bring back Fantasy. I think they like it being a video game franchise and nothing else. Oh, right. Pre-end times. So, or pre-old ones. So, before the old ones came to the Warhammer world, it was further away from the sun, so it was a lot colder. So, most of the planet was really dark and was covered in ice, except for the equilateral equator. Equilateral band. That's what I'm going to call it. That's probably wrong, but whatever. I can say it, so we're sticking with it. And there was a ton of fighting over what races controlled that particular part of the planet. Now, contrary to some beliefs, it wasn't just, like, empty. Like, it wasn't like there was nobody around. How many? Let's do one corpse cart, and then let's pick up... no, that's rank 3, this is rank 2. Let's pick up 2 units of Black Knights. And I think that's good for now. I kind of want some Dire Wolves, but... Why can't I get Skeleton Spearmen? Because they're rank 2. That would be why. I'm stupid. Okay. Anyway, so the Warhammer world was competed, and the primarily important races were the Dragon Ogres and the Dragons. They were the two most dominant races that fought over the world, and the original Dragon Ogres and Dragons were fucking huge. Like, we're talking about colossal mountains of flesh and armor and scale who were just ridiculously powerful. And like the Warhammer world, after it was moved closer to the sun, became warmer, would never see the likes of those Titans again, because they didn't like the environment and they went to sleep in the deepest, darkest places of the world. Like, one waking up would be like a catastrophe. It would be a horrible event. Some of them, of course, occasionally do something during the Warhammer Fantasy universe, but a lot of the really big ones never wake up. So, and if you watch the Archon video, like, you'll know, like, he wants to sell me a piece of Nagash. I have a lot of money, so let's go ahead and pay him. Give me some Nagash boy stuff. Let's see, this is Eshin. Eshin does have a tendency to get the shit kicked out of it, so let's go ahead and buy some gates. And then once I have this corpse cart, we can finish wiping out all these guys, and then we'll go play multiplayer. So anyway, so everyone around was competing for these ripe, beautiful lands around the equator. And they were very primordial. So this is also where you had a lot of your Carnosaurs and a lot of your big fucking dinosaurs who were around, of course, before the old ones showed up. Like, the old ones you got to remember a lot of the original races, so the high elves, the high elves, dwarves, humans, halflings, ogres, and lizardmen that were created by the old ones. They were created from animals and creatures that already existed in the Warhammer world. The old ones kind of like, oh, let's like put this with this and combine this shit and give this thing intelligence and do all this crap. And they created those races from the base materials they had available to them. So a lot of these races' ancestors, so to speak, were also around at this time. So the world was just a giant fucking mess. There were a few empires that rose and fell. One of the most notable ones was there was a insectoid race. Really? It gives me this after... I hate this mission type. Like, they always do it after you get it, and then it's not really worth it either. It's like, buy a cavalry unit, and then you get this buff. Which basically means I would need to buy a cav unit, wait till next turn, then get rid of said cav units, and recruit new ones to actually gain from the bonus. It should be like, if you have X amount in all of your armies, you succeed, or some shit. I don't know. Alright, let's go kick some ass. So anyway, so the most notable race I can think of off the top of my head is one that was revealed to us in a Gotrek and Felix book, which was this giant race of insectoid ant creatures who had like mind control powers, and they were super spooky and ugly and very large, horrifyingly nasty creatures. And they had a large dominion over the earth, of course, at a time, and had like an interesting empire until the old ones showed up and the lizardmen kicked the shit out of them and forced them underground. And then the dwarves were created, and the dwarves proceeded to kick their ass further and basically make them go extinct. And then the ones that were surviving made a pact with the Chaos Gods. And that's what you saw a lot of in Warhammer Fantasy, was races who existed before the time of the old ones, and they were powerful and preeminent. So like the Dragon Ogres, the Dragon Ogres, the giant insectoid things that are never named, but they're basically giant ants. The Femmer are a good example. You had all these primordial races that had dominion over at least part of the earth, and then the old ones showed up and just fucking destroyed everybody using the lizardmen. Like, the reason the Saurus were the first lizardman race created, beside, like, the Slann, was because they you know, did this mass extermination of the planet. And just fucking wrecked everybody. And it was a bad time to not be a race that the old ones considered crucial to their plans. It was a very bad time indeed.
Necromancer. Fear the truth.
So hopefully that answers that question. The pre-old world was... pre-old one world was terrifying and not pleasant to live in. We're all gazing the gashes now. It's supposed to be... let's try shooting at Luther and see what happens. Watch out, Hex Race. Or... Ghosts. See, I fucking hate this about magic missiles. Okay. I don't even know what that did, but alright. It looks like he tried to fire it, but it went below the earth. I couldn't even see the missile go off. I don't think it did. Like, clearly he shot it, but it just plunged right into the ground. They really need to... Fucking... That's ridiculous. Those spells didn't... Magic missiles are wonderful when they work. But man, the if is kind of a biggie. Alright. We're gonna shut down all this crap really fast with our Black Knights. We're gonna have our Hex Raids go after their Knights, and we're gonna bring our Bats in. We're gonna bring all this crap over here. Let's go ahead and send our Cairn Race after the enemy Necromancer. Is that a Necromancer or a Vampire? That is a Ghoul King. Oh, none of the above. Does he have magic attacks? I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. Okay, so the Cairn Race should be okay. we'll have this necromancer just fire off a little spell.
With haste.
Okay, we got the nice corpse card in here. Corpse cards are amazing. A lot of people don't like them because they're slow, but man, that melee defense and melee attack bonus, when you stack it with like Van Hells, you can get some like ludicrously powerful undead. That's something I think a lot of people don't know about the undead or don't take advantage of with the undead, is that they are a race that requires you to buff them constantly to be at their maximum. It's one thing I don't see on multiplayer very much is people using like buff heavy builds, which is a shame because I think they would be really successful if people knew how to use them. Kimmler's under attack. Okay, what can fucking do is just
Beautiful decay.
bring these back, pull my bats out, have them kill these other bats. I don't think I can push Kimmler through just yet. Let's bring you around this way. His army's not looking so hot. Yeah, I should be able to push through now. Let's go ahead and move these guys out this way. Bring our Black Knights over here.
Necromancer. I'm up. At once. Corpse cat.
Alright, let's get our corpse guard into this big fight, because he's going to be providing much more important buffs. Alright, and we want to take out the vampire first? Yeah, let's focus the vampire first. So let's get Krell up. Come on, corpse guard, over here. Mush! Mush! Nope, nope. Y'all go after that. Alright, Krell's up. So we'll have him open a can of whoop ass on that dude. Let's get a nice big Van Hells.
That is magic to me. Necromancer. Van Hell's will.
Go ahead and send in the bats. I'm going to drop a raised dead.
Awake, your master calls.
So we can get a surround going, which is pretty important at this stage. Those knights. Oh, I forgot about them. Derp. Alright, I think the bats can clean up there. Summon some more zombies. More zombies. You cannot stop the swarm. Zurg ain't got nothing on us. Alright, Krell is opening a solid can of whoop ass on this Vampire Lord, which is right where we want him. The Ghoul King is slowly being ground down. Let's throw down a Van Hell on these guys. We should give them what they need to make a really nice big charge, because they'll have the increased speed, which will help, and they're also their melee attack is up. I lost a unit of something. Son of a bitch. Man, I wish I was as good at clearing through my own units as fucking AI was sometimes. Alright, we're gonna give some more specific attack orders. Make sure everyone is fighting something. Man, getting killed by fucking Fellbats, that's embarrassing. Alright, I've got another Van Hells. Let's pop it on our Camermates, so we're nice and mixed in. And what is that up their melee attack to? 57! That's pretty fucking good. Like, between the Vigor Mortis and Van Hells, well, that 26 melee attack, fuck. Yeah, that helps a lot. Alright, Krell should be able to help me kill this asshole. And this is, of course, Immortal Krell. This is not Scrub Krell. Alright, let's send one bat unit to take out this. Another bat unit to take out this. Okay, these guys are dead. So let's right you over here. Let's go ahead and send in our bats to take care of this mess. And we're going to bring in our Black Knights with a nice big fuck you charge right Right in that pocket. Nope, that's the mess. Mess break. Hooray! Good night, Morthor. Oh, the trademark friendly names. Yeah, Dwarden. Elves are called elves still, but it's AELVS. Or AELV. It's like elves, but just put an A in front of it. And now it's copyrighted because, you know, magic. Which I could copyright some stupid benign shit. Well, dominate, because there's really no reason to ever not dominate. Ooh, the Book of Archon. That's a nice, I like that a lot. There's a nice Tomb King's reference for y'all, even though I don't really consider him a Tomb King, but he is technically one. Or at least he shows up in their book. Ooh, I really like Curse of Years. It's not very good against undead, in my opinion. Like, I mean, it makes undead completely suck. I feel like this is a spell that's really close to being good in multiplayer. I think if instead of what it is right... That's kind of weird. It only has... Oh, because you can't overcast it. But I really wish that Curse of Years in multiplayer was... Instead of all this junk affecting the ground and being super expensive, I wish you could target a single character with it. And it does the exact same stuff. Maybe has a 30-second ability recharge. And, like, I think it would be better as a character debuff instead of, like, debuffing a whole bunch of shit. Because the ability recharge is, like, probably the most important aspect of it, in my opinion. And it's just not that great in its current setup. At least in my opinion. See, only 1 point. I'm only doing double points on Lords. Alright, I really don't want to buy spells on this dude, but I guess I kind of have to. Alright, Fort Obastire is going to collapse in a heartbeat. We will occupy. Nicely done, nicely done, nicely done. Alright, so I'm going to get Lore Master in the Lore of Vampires, which is one of my favorite abilities, because that makes your spells so hilariously cheap. And then we'll go ahead and pick up Curse of Years, so I've got the full spell roster. I'm okay with this. Yeah. I had to think. Research. See, how fast can I get to... See, this is for skeletons, this is for zombies, and this is for whites. So let's go ahead and just go straight that way. How does the crumble mechanic work? It just makes it so that when undead lose leadership and are, like, would break, so to speak, they instead just start losing health. And if they completely shatter, then they just die. So undead never retreat. They just start taking damage over time. And the more their leadership is down, the faster they crumble. So the more damage they take. When it's multiplayer, you know what? How about we save and do it right now? Because I'm going to have to fight Von Karstein. It's going to be kind of a long engagement. Because he started the spread. So. Get out of here. Scrub. Oh, I leveled up. Good night, Marco Polish. Have a good evening. Now, starting with the Book of Lamia. Nah, I'm not too worried about my economy right now. I'm doing fine. Hooray! Well, okay, we'll work on the Chaos Tombblade next time. Alright, let's get you the Curse of Undeath. Alright, so that puts us in a good position. We will go ahead and save. Alright, and then I'm going to exit to Windows so I can turn the beta off. Alright, if you guys want to ask me questions about myself, about lore, or anything else in the universe, I would... There we go. Let's minimize all that shit. And Steam. Properties. Betas. Go to none. And we'll go to manage downloads and prioritize it. Alright. In 100 megabytes we'll be good to go, but since I'm streaming it might be slower. Which halflings were a thing you can play? Any hints on the next video topic? Sure. Any hints? Oh shoot, I should announce that on Discord. Hold on a second. Yeah, so a hint for the next video. Something monstrous. Someone monstrous. And it should be out really soon. For patrons. Not for everyone, sorry. You'll have to wait. Patrons, I would be really surprised if I'm not able to get it out this week. Because it's not going to be that super long. If two Empire provinces were go to war, which two would it be? Oh man, dude, so many of them hate each other. Midland and Reichland are not good friends. Stirland and Averland fucking hate each other. But Manfred kind of manufactured and manipulated that hate to make it worse and worse and worse and worse. Sotek, have you ever thought about playing the Warsword Conquest mod for Mount and Blade? Yes, I have. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks super fun. I tried downloading it, and I think I even got it to work, but I literally had no fucking idea what was going on. And I was just like, there's like so many other things I could be doing instead of learning to play a whole brand new game, and this is just too much. And so I deleted it. So, sorry. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Here, how about I post my Discord link in chat? Let's do that. So let's do invite people. Set this link to never expire. Copy. Okay, and then I can go to my... How the fuck do I go to my... thing? Hold on. Let's go to my channel. No, not Google. YouTube. There I am. So I'm going to go to me. I'm going to mute it so I don't go crazy. Alright, there's Discord. And for those of you who have been asking, there's my Patreon. I don't recommend it unless it's something you're really into and you see what I'm offering and you're like, wow, that sounds really awesome. Like, if that's you, great, hop in. And you know, I would greatly appreciate the support. And of course, you get all of the tweaks, though I need to adjust it. It's a little bit outdated. It needs to be updated. So hopefully I can do that soon. Was the battle between Sigmar and Archaon as epic as it should be? It was pretty epic. It wasn't... It was short. They fought twice. The first time was super short. Because Archaon just, like, insta-killed him. Or didn't kill him, but he insta-whooped his ass. And then the second time, it was pretty good. I wish one of them had actually died instead of it ending with kind of a weird stalemate. By the way, if you're just now tuning in for some reason, your computer's not bad. I was playing with the beta on so I could play single player and enjoy it, but everybody wants to do multiplayer, so I've turned off my beta and I'm waiting for it to finish updating. So it's probably going to be about my computer. If I had to guess, it'll probably be about a minute before it's ready to go. Maybe 30 seconds, somewhere in that ballpark. It's working on it right now. Is this Darkness a JoJo reference? No, I have never watched JoJo, though I've heard really good things about it. One day I'll get. I have so many anime on my to-do list. I just haven't had time. Will I be collaborating again for another lore authentic map? I don't think I collaborated for any of those, but I do have a new one coming out eventually. Yes, I'll rephrase that. I'm working on a new one. Yes. For those of you who are watching who want to get super excited, if this excites you, I am working on a Kislev video that will be the same level of detail as the Norska video was. Hey, Lore Master, how much do you know about Age of Sigmar? A lot. I know a lot because I've bought most of the books. I've bought many books, and I've read many books. And I've even played a good amount of Age of Sigmar because I didn't think it was fair to dislike it without giving it a fair chance. What is Moore's Realm like? Everybody believes in Moore's Realm if you live in the Empire. Moore is not. If you live in the Empire, you don't believe in only like Sigmar. You believe in the entire pantheon. You just think Sigmar is like the most important aspect of the pantheon, but you still believe in the other gods. Like they're the imperial pantheon. Moore's Realm is essentially a really quiet, serene, calm place, but a lot of people are really scared of it because, you have to die to get there. And it's basically Oblivion. Like, it's basically a realm of gray and nothing, but it's supposed to be incredibly calm. And you're basically supposed to go there to just rest for all of eternity. That's all there is to it. And then some asshole necromancer comes along, and he forcefully rips you out of it, and that's why the undead tend to be super pissed off. The best vampire count? The best one was almost certainly, I would say Manfred's the best one. He's the smartest one, anyway. He has the best success rate. And he didn't die. So that's pretty good. Vlad is probably my favorite of the vampire counts. And when I say vampire count, I only mean, like, the vampire count. So, like, Conrad, Vlad, and Manfred are who I'm talking about. In which case, Manfred, I think, is the best one, but Vlad is my favorite. In your opinion, why is Age of Sigmar far better than Warhammer Fantasy and 40k? It's not. I've never said that. I think Age of Sigmar is the weakest of the three. Because Games Workshop handled its launch extremely poorly. What races do I reckon will be DLC? All of them. All of the playable ones in tabletop. So I still think we have Tomb Kings, Chaos Dwarves, Demons, and Ogre Kingdoms to go. And I think they will add in some... I would not be surprised to see some more human ones added. So maybe Kislev, the Southern Realms are good examples. Maybe Araby. I kind of doubt Araby made sense a while ago, but now, seeing as it's kind of an interesting expansion for Bretonnia and the Empire to have a noticeable influence on the New World, I don't think that's going to happen. Kislev, though, would make total sense. Will I ever do 40k lore videos in the future? No. I think the Warhammer 40k market and YouTube is incredibly oversaturated, and Warhammer Fantasy is going to take me for fucking ever to cover all of it, especially to the level of detail that I do. And if I were to finish Warhammer Fantasy, I would go into doing Age of Sigmar. Because I prefer staying in the fantasy realm. I don't like guns. I don't like laser guns, I should say. Can't wait for the Age of Sigmar tabletop RPG. Yes, I am very excited for the new roleplay game, the 4th edition roleplay game. Games Workshop is working on it. Though there's a chance, I have heard rumors that they're doing a Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition as well. Which if they seriously actually do that, I'm gonna shit myself. I'm gonna be so excited. So Tech, what character in fantasy is best at exterminating thoughts? Jacob, could you... I don't understand what you're asking. Manfred in the End Times is not the same as Manfred from every other timeline. From every other book. Manfred was a really interesting character in a lot of ways, in that he was a conniving bastard who pulled off some crazy shit, and then some stupid crap happened, and he ended the world because he was a baby. How is the unofficial 9th edition in my view? I think it's complete fucking garbage. Sorry. I think they started off strong. The initial versions of Ninth Age, as it's called, were, I think, really strong. And I liked them a lot. And they had some really interesting concepts. And we're trying to make a tournament-friendly, finalized version, so to speak, of 8th edition. And then they completely lost their fucking minds and got obsessed with their own power and thought that they were just the greatest thing to ever crawl out of their own buttholes. And then they just ruined it. And they made a completely different game and just trashed it. And I despise them for what they've made out of it. So no, I don't like Ninth Age. It's much similar to Warhammer like 3rd edition. It's what happens when you get a bunch of old farts together who care more about game balance than supporting the source material, which is something I am always wary of in every community I join. Source material is important. A thought is that hoe over there. So who's the best at exterminating hoes? Exterminating hoes. Probably... I'd say the Mask of Slaanesh, actually. Whenever a party gets too real or too awesome, the Mask just, like, literally will burst out of somebody's chest and just murder everybody in the room. The Mask is fucking terrifying. Neil Verum, if you read a lot of Black Library books, there's a ton of sex in Warhammer. There's so much sex in Warhammer, it's fucking ridiculous. I try not to go too in detail on it, on like my videos, because I don't want YouTube to flag me, but other than that, no, like, every fucking book, there's somebody banging somebody's brains out. You're welcome, Gigatwin. Gigatwin would probably make more sense. By the way, the update's almost done, for those of you who are waiting. I think normally it's much faster than this, but I think because I'm streaming, I'm eating up my own bandwidth. By the way, if one of y'all, for some magical reason, happens to be one of the people responsible for Ninth Age, I'm sorry that I talk so harshly about it, but I hate you guys. I was really excited about that, and I supported it in its early days. And I did a lot of work for it, and they just completely ruined it. So much sex and So Game of Thrones gets a lot more... The difference between Game of Thrones and Warhammer Fantasy when it comes to sex and dark content is that Game of Thrones very explicitly spells out exactly what is happening and holds back on nothing, whereas Warhammer Fantasy has arguably worse stuff going on, but they infer it and they, like, fade to black. They don't actually, like, detail it all. That's the only difference, but Warhammer Fantasy has some fucking terrifying stuff. Like Femmer are super rapey. Games Workshop actually got rid of Femmer for a few years because they were like their like most notable feature or habit was that they would show up in villages in the fog and grab women and drag them away to be raped to death by these horrifying monstrous reptile cyclops creatures. Yeah, Gotrek and Felix has a bunch of sex. There are orgies and a bunch of other goofy stuff. Felix almost always has a new female companion in every book. He also, of course, has his long-standing romances with Ulrika. Ulrika is basically raped in Vampire Slayer, and it delves really hard into rape analogies, with her being forced to become a vampire. Spoilers. What race do Skaven hate the most? Skaven hate lizardmen the most, probably, because the Skaven are fucking terrified of them. The lizard, it's kind of a mutual hatred. The Skaven hate the lizardmen so much, and can you blame them? I mean, if you had an enemy who hated you so much that they basically created a brand new god just out of their hatred for you, it's pretty harsh. Skaven do have a very strong animosity, though, towards pretty much everybody. Like, they don't get along with anyone. The undead and the greenskins in particular are really big enemies of the Skaven because they're all destructive races that feed off the creative and constructive empires of other races, so they're kind of really bad for each other. Well, you gotta remember, Warhammer Fantasy was originally marketed towards, like, teenagers and adults. They didn't really have, like, if you go and open any of their books, even now, well, maybe not now, but, like, at least back in the day, if you open any other fucking book, it's all super old guys playing. I started learning to play Warhammer Fantasy when I was 9 years old, and I was insanely young compared to the people at my gaming club. Most of them were like dudes in like their 40s and 50s. And Warhammer Fantasy players tend to be older than Warhammer 40k players. Warhammer 40k players tend to be much younger on average. Warhammer 40k has a much better relationship with younger audiences. I don't know why. I guess they just think laser guns are cooler. Hey, Sotex, are the Amazon shield... Amazons are a really complicated issue because there's... The thing that a lot of people get hung up on is that this guy, created a fan version of a bunch of different races. And some of it he backed up with really old lore. And he basically was like, well, this is how I think this race should work. And he made these super, incredibly high quality fan books that are fucking gorgeous. For Warhammer 8th Edition. They're not remotely balanced. They're super overpowered, almost all of them. But the artwork and the stories and everything were very well done and are very pretty. But they're not canon. As far as what the Amazons actually are, the most prevalent theory in the time of 8th Edition is that the Amazons were a set of survivors from one of the earliest Norse settlements, Skeggi. And they essentially kind of adapted to live successfully in the jungles of Lustria, which alone makes them fucking terrifying. But they are basically these very barbaric, powerful, sexy women who defend a series of, Amazon Island being the primary one, have basically carved out a small empire for themselves. And they kind of have a weird, relationship with the Lizardmen. Nasser BDF, you are not being ignored. If I missed your comment, I'm sorry. I'll scroll up and see if I can find it in a minute. If not, just repeat it. I'll see it. Eventually. But Amazons are just very strange. Essentially, they're just warrior women who live in the jungle and have managed to carve out a small little empire for themselves. And they thrive as guides for people trying to explore Lustria. And they are also very well known for their habit of... Basically, if an Amazon finds you and it's like mating season for them, so to speak, they will go out, find a suitable male who impresses them, and basically kidnap you, take you back, have sex with you, and then they'll kill you. Most of the time. They'll sacrifice you to their gods. They are pretty scary. Do you think Nagash will be implemented in Total Warhammer? No. I think if they ever do Nagash, it will be after Game 3's come out, and they do like an end times pack, and Nagash is like put into the game then. I would not be surprised if Nagash is a major part of the Tomb Kings DLC, like stories about him, because Nagash is like so central to their lore. You can't tell a story involving Tomb Kings and not bring up Nagash. It's impossible if you're doing it right. So Nagash almost certainly will be a major component of what they're up to, but I don't think he's going to actually show up. The only faction that has a special city is Tilia's Merigliano. I mean, Kislev kind of is a special city. It has like unique artwork. Own 856. Hi, Lore Master. Just wanted to say love the content. Stumbled upon one of your videos and went from knowing nothing to loving this rich world. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's what I hope the most for. Where's that one guy who said I was ignoring him? Did he comment anything yet? Nope. No, sir, BDF. I'm still waiting on you to make another comment. You're not being ignored. I am specifically looking for you now. No, the game is at about... I'm at 80 megabytes out of 100. Blame the stream. It's slowing shit down a lot. Normally it takes me like 2 seconds to do this. What's the deal with dwarves in Lustria and Karak Zorn? They just put them there. There have been a lot of dwarven expeditions to both the Southlands and Lustria for different reasons. But in the Southlands, the very, very first dwarf hold, the one where the old ones created them and gave to them essentially, and where the ancestor gods like grew up and lived among the dwarves, was Karak Zorn. It's the first hold. And it's in the Southlands, just like it is in the game, but unfortunately the dwarves were exterminated, presumably by the lizardmen. It's a bit questionable whether or not demons killed them or the lizardmen killed them, though it seems to be more inferred that the lizardmen killed them, likely due to demonic influences among the dwarves, catching the lizardmen's attention. But the dwarves of Karak Zorn were wiped out a good little ways before the War of the Beard started. But Total War Warhammer bringing them back is fine by me. I'm totally okay with that, just to get dwarves somewhere else. Where can I find all of the lore books? What books? If you're talking about all of them, then eBay. Good luck. They're very expensive. I just bought like 4 new books the other day. You're from Irving, Texas, Atticus. Well, hello. I am not from Grand Prairie. I am from somewhere else. I should probably keep my location a secret. That's probably wise. I live in that area, though. I'll say that. But no, I'm not from Grand Prairie. I probably live within like 30 minutes to 45 minutes of you, though. Should we wait? Should we want Tilia? I mean, sure, why not? The more the merrier, right? Well, the problem, nihil verum, about Karak Zorn is that the dwarves don't know where it is. After it was exterminated, because of the War of the Beard, and the earthquakes that followed the War of the Beard, the dwarves' records were, like, annihilated. A lot of their older records. and they were completely crippled, and they went for so many years without even having the opportunity to think about reclaiming Zorn, and now they have no idea where it is. What's your take on the High Elves? I adore High Elves. I love them. They have really interesting lore. They can kind of be dicks, but they have good reason to be dicks. They've had to put up with a lot of crap. Yes, you can download online versions of all the rule books, and if you know the right people, you can download a lot of Black Library books as well. If you go to Google Foo. I will not post a link, though, because I don't want to get sued, and of course, I don't actually know where it is. Cough, cough. Be'lakor was the very first demon prince. That's why he's super powerful. He is one of the first living embodiments of powerful embodiments of Chaos Undivided. Okay, Warhammer's done. Hooray! Let's boot it up. Sotek thinks we're going to kill him. Dude, if there's one thing I have learned, it's that it's just better safe than sorry, man. It's nothing against you guys. You get on streams and YouTube channels and you read about weird people doing weird shit. Super weird shit. And I don't think any of y'all would do that, but I have to be safe. Uh-oh, my stream went offline. No, it didn't. No. Said it did. That was weird. Lord Chili Pepper? Oh gosh, I have to grab my book. Listen, I know a lot about Warhammer Fantasy, but like specific lords like Lord Chili Pepper, for instance, are really difficult for me to just pull out of the air. I could go grab my Lizardman book if you want, but I take it the Amazons have worked out that stealing... Yes, the Amazons know better than to steal from the Lizardmen. Whenever they go with adventurers, the Amazons are very good at knowing what you can steal from the Lizardmen and what you cannot. Because you can steal from them. You just don't want to steal stuff that they actually care about. But like, if you just take a bunch of gold trinkets, the Lizardmen could not give any less shits. Sotek, have you heard of the Dwarven Tomb King of Lybaris? Yes, I have read the Gotrek and Felix book that you're talking about. Yes. I have read about the Warhammer version of Moses, and it was probably the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Alright, I'm just going to chill here for just a minute because the stream likes to kind of catch up. Alright, let's play! I'm going to start off with Lizardman. If y'all have any requests, feel free to put them in chat. I do not claim to be amazing at this game, so if you're expecting me to be godlike and I disappoint you, then too bad. Is my profile pic just a generic Lizardman or a specific character? It is Gorak, the great white lizard, and I stole this image. This is why I'm getting a brand new one made. Because this image is not mine. I tried to purchase the rights to it from someone, and he's a very small individual. Tried to purchase the rights, and he was having none of it. So I was like, alright, I'm just going to use it then, and too bad. And I've been using it as my avatar for years. Alright, he's playing High Elves. High Elves make me mad. I don't like High Elves. Playing against them, they're very powerful, so let's take some Mazda Mundi action. Let's get rid of that, and don't want to hang on to Arcane Unfortunate. So we're going up against the High Elves, so Curse of the Midnight Wind is good. We can drop that. Grab the Sun Standard. Let's go double Skink Chief and get rid of Slippery. We got our Commando Skinks. Actually, you know what? Let's go Krokgar because he's cheaper. And we'll drop one of these and take... Let's see, we're against High Elves, so let's take a Beast Wizard. And we'll put him on a Stegodon. Okay, that's good. And we'll take that. So if it's techless, we can shut him down. We want at least a unit. Let's do 1 unit of Temple Guard. And then do a mix. And then I need 2 units of Chameleon Skinks. Oh, shoot. I don't want Pterodons against High Elves. They're going to get shot out of the sky. Think. Let's take 2 units of Skinks. And then we'll level up my Saurus, I guess. There we go. Let's try that. A Sotek build, we'll do that next time. We'll play a skink build next time. Next match. I wasn't looking at chat, I'm sorry. Do I know what happened to Bloodkeep after the Blood Dragons were wiped out? Yes, they scattered and continued to thrive and be a pain in the ass to everybody in the world. The Blood Dragons were not exterminated. They were defeated, but they were not exterminated. They even actually took Bloodkeep back during the reign of Karl Franz, and he went back and kicked them out again. Which is where he almost died, actually. But I talked about that in my video, I think, of Karl Franz. Karl Franz almost dies, but Deathclaw saves him. Because Deathclaw's a badass. I will play an all skink build next time. Keep your pants on. I don't mind Lothern Seaguard. My biggest problem with the High Elves right now is that I don't... dragons are a bit much for most factions to deal with. Star Dragons are tough, and they hit like a fucking truck. And fucking Phoenix Guard drive me crazy. I don't like how offensively strong they are. I'm used to... I wish they had been more like their tabletop version, where they were super defensive, but did not hit very impressively. In this game, they are fairly powerful. Alright, so let's do a good mix. And then we're going to have Temple Guard behind to go where I need them. Chameleon Skinks are going to do some early scouting for me to make sure our High Elf friend here isn't up to any mysterious shenanigans. We're going to use this skink to harass the dragon. Krokgar and the skink priest are going to support our army for now. And I'm going to put a cohort on each side. Actually, what we might do is run the cohort ahead of the Saurus to absorb missile fire if they have a lot of archers. So let's go ahead and make a group there. And then I'll make each of the skinks. Okay. Why were the Bretonnians so mad the Lady of the Lake is an elven goddess? So, here's the thing. The Bretonnians were not angry at Lilith for being the Lady of the Lake. In the end, okay, that's a really complicated question for reasons that it's hard to explain very quickly. So, to answer the actual question, in the end times, it's revealed that Lilith in that version is the Lady of the Lake. And in it, the reason the Bretonnians are angry at her is not necessarily because she's an elf goddess, but because she lied. And when I say that she lied, it's that Lilith literally is kind of a callous bitch and admits right to their face that she created them for the sole purpose of protecting the elves and Athel Loren. Like, she didn't believe in any of the stuff she taught them for the sake of making them, like, chosen, like, really, really powerful on their own. She created them as kind of like a... Okay, so there are archers, so we're going to run the skinks ahead and see if we can trick them into shooting the skinks instead. What are those? Dragon Princes? Okay, so let's have these skinks fall back. And who's this? That is Teclis. Perfect. I brought the Cube of Darkness, so Teclis should not actually be a huge deal. What is this? That is a Mage of Life. Alright, so we're going to fly this guy over here and start harassing some Dragon Princes. Get some early shenanigans in on them. We're going to have Krokgar mirror their movements. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and have our skink cohorts aim for the enemy archers, and this is good. I will finish answering the Lilith question soon, I promise. I'm a little distracted. Alright, so Krokar is coming in on these guys, and they are not paying attention, so he's going to do a ton of damage there. Alright, let's go ahead and start committing our swords to some charges. We got some sword masters in there, so we're going to have the Temple Guard go after them. I'm going to go ahead and fire off this Cube of Darkness on Teclis so that he loses some Winds of Magic nice and early on. Okay, we're going to bring in these guys to do some poison damage to those guys who are fighting him. Alright, so he's firing off some magic, so I will respond. Let's get some nice buffs going here. And there are Phoenix Guard there. Let's see. Oh, here we go. That's a nice, good spot. So we're going to go ahead and charge these archers and get them nice and wiped out. I'm going to go ahead and charge into these sword masters with my skink priest. These sword masters are fun to push over. And I'm going to have my priest go ahead and start, or his chief rather, start harassing Teclis. Get away from the spearmen. A nice blessing of Itzel. We're going to have our chameleons keep harassing them. And we're going to bring him over here. Let's see if I can get on that life wizard. Okay, those archers are continuing to be a bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and go melee stance and dive in on them here. Krokar is going in on the mage, and we'll go ahead and pop that. Let's get down a flock of doom over here. Oh boy. That wasn't really a good way for me to get out of the way of that. Let's get those. Okay, those skinks are breaking. That kind of sucks. What are you going to do? Alright. Where are my chameleons? Oh, they're there. Okay, so let's get rid of those guys. Doing good, we're doing good. He's harassing them. Krokar is getting stuck in Phoenix Guard, which is not what I want. Especially since they have Flesh to Stone. Oof, X. Let's go ahead and take out these archers. Okay, these skinks have rallied. Let's bring them over this way. See if I can't focus on that group. So, what is he doing? Is he netted? You don't look like you're netted. There you go. Charge. Okay, let's keep moving. This is not looking terrible, but it's not looking great. Okay, good. Let's bring these guys around. I'm gonna bring in... Did he pop his sword? Okay, yeah, he did. And he popped his potion. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and GTFO here. And we're gonna throw down a big flock of doom over here. And I'm gonna charge in there. Krokar is gonna go whoop up on Teclis. We have these chameleon skinks focus down these packs of archers. This, go ahead and pop that on Krokar. Bringing these chameleons, who should be more than a match for this little batch here of guys. Get him out of there. Where's Krokar? Okay, Teclis is... Okay, let's face this way. Okay, there you go. Pops with this Vitzel, so we blow all these assholes out of the way. I'm gonna go chase Teclis off the battlefield. Not sure why he doubled up on the magic. It seems a bit silly. Where is that other wizard? There he is. Pop the Cube of Darkness on him, which lowers his magical recharge. Go ahead and pop this. Ah, what's the word I'm looking for? Pop that. See if I can just dumpster him real quick. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's bring our skink chief over here. Chameleons are tearing up those archers, which is fantastic. We're slowly getting rid of everything that they can use to kill Krokar. Let's go ahead and pop a flock of doom right on top of myself. We're going to bring him in to get rid of these archers. Drop a rock. Which did absolutely nothing. The drop a rock is really bizarre on like one character. Alright, this is looking like we're pretty much wrapping up. The Phoenix Guard are going to continue to be an annoyance, but not much of one. Because we're going to start harassing them with poison darts, which is going to slow them down. And make them unable to keep up with my skinks. Oh no, it's Dragon Princes. If only I had a giant fuck-off T-Rex. Oh wait, I do! Alright, so at this point, our goal is just to chase off as many things as we can. We're just going to keep harassing with various units. And one thing that you don't see enough of when people play this game is making sure to chase enemy units all the way off. So see that these groups are broken but not shattered. We're just going to follow them until they're off the table. Or battlefield, rather. Krokars, I'm not even remotely... Yeah, we've got this in the bag. Easy. I don't think there's any way they can come back from this. Oh no! They rallied! Into the forest! Into the forest! We have an advantage in the woods. Yeah, we do need to get rid of this life wizard, though. That is pretty important. Man, the fucking edge of this battlefield is super far away. Okay, so he's almost got them taken care of. They're helping me stay on these dragon princes who gave up on us, but that's fine. We're just going to keep pursuing. I don't know how these fucking, like, goofy-ass melee units are keeping up with me. I'm a giant T-Rex. This life wizard needs to stay on the run, though. I don't need him coming back. Really wish he would just die, but Krokar's having a kind of hard time hitting him. So let's bring him over. Really like if I could get a flock of doom on these goofs here. Try and charge them into those dragon princes. We'll have the chameleon skinks try... Whoop. We got a group of archers there that need to be dealt with. Let's bring our skink chief out this way. That archer is almost done for. Go ahead and pop Cube of Darkness so that if he is getting any magic back, he doesn't get much. Man, killing this guy is proving to be annoyingly difficult, but I don't want to give up on fleeing him or chasing him because he's fucking got a decent amount of morale, so I can't just stop chasing him, but I'm knocking him over, and I don't want to do that. I need my Stegodon. So we're going to go ahead and pop heals. Now I'm going to face this wizard here and pop this. Whee! Alright, just chase him right off the field. And that should cause a shatter, or mass break, because they lost their remaining leadership. And he's already got cold-blooded going, so he's healing up, and that's game. It's not quite done yet, but that's game. Dude's got nothing left. Yep, GG.
Alright.
Right, so I was answering about Lilith. Wow, those Swordmasters got a shitload of kills. Wow, look at that. They did fantastically. He did a good job hiding them behind the Spearman. I didn't even see them until I was engaged. But the Skink Priest... Skink Priests on dinosaurs right now are super powerful. They're almost too powerful, but my Chameleon Skinks... 92 and 126 against High Elves, that's pretty fucking ridiculous. Granted, almost all of that is archers, but he did a terrible job protecting them. He committed way too much of his front line to offense. He should have kept at least like 2 of these spearman units back just to defend, because that's all it takes. Chameleon Skinks are not hard to ward off with a melee unit, especially if they've got shields. Okay, so let's talk about Lilith. So, or the Lady of the Lake. So in the end times, which I'll mention why I'm giving this qualifier, Lilith revealed that she was the Lady of the Lake, but she revealed the reason that she created the realm of Bretonia by basically stealing their future away from them. She forced herself in as their pantheon, even though they didn't, and she basically rose them up under elven standards. So instead of creating a moral code and a line of code and like all this stuff, instead of creating it from what they were, she basically came in and was like, alright, here are my rules, here are my conditions, this is what you are now. You know, the Bretonians basically had this chivalric code and just all of this crazy stuff, but it was manufactured. It was forced upon them. And they didn't get to choose their own destiny. And on top of that, the worst, most horrifying part for the Bretonnians was that the Lady of the Lake and or Lilith, that when they died, she basically promised them rest. Like, they were supposed to go to Mor's realm. What she actually did was she did not allow them to die. Men who committed to the vows, and especially those who became Grail Knights, she stole their souls, essentially, and used them as eternal protectors for her own purposes. So to the Bretonnians, it was this horrifying revelation that they never were put to rest, and they were always enslaved to Lilith's will. And they didn't have their own agency, they didn't have their own destiny, and she had basically been playing them this entire time just to protect Athel Loren, and she didn't give a fuck about how many of them died. She didn't give a fuck about how much they suffered, how much pain they were going through. She was cold and callous and calculating, and all she cared about was protecting Athel Loren and protecting the elves at large. And it was a horrible realization for them that their entire nation and everything they had fought for and everything they had stood for was a lie. That being said, the reason I include a caveat is because the end times version of the Lady of the Lake / Lilith makes absolutely no fucking sense. And here's why. So for those of you that are like, oh god, Lilith sucks. Yeah, she does. But this is only the end times version of Lilith. And here's the theory behind it. The theory that I give people is that Lilith is the goddess of prophecy, which kind of sets her up in the I'm gonna get fucked up mode when the end times started rolling around. Because all she saw was the end. She just saw the Chaos Gods winning and everything being destroyed. And so Lilith basically went crazy and turned into this horrible abomination of a god. Like, just to give you a list of what she does in the end times, Lilith assassinates Ariel. Ariel was perfectly fine and led the Wood Elves out to stand side by side with Bretonnia against Archon the Black and Malabah the Serpent, and Lilith just fucking assassinates her. She basically shoots her with this, like, the only thing that can kill Ariel, and just completely kills her, murders her in cold blood, despite being Ariel's daughter, essentially. So she murders Ariel. She then tricks the Everqueen into coming down and fusing with Ariel, therefore consuming her and completely killing Ariel and making Aisha one being for her own means. She then causes the war on Ulthuan and forces it into such a state where she basically intentionally forces Tyrion to go mad. It intentionally makes Tyrion into the Avatar of Cain and causes Teclis to have to betray and kill his own brother. She lies to Teclis, and by lying to Teclis forces him to allow Malekith into Ulthuan and side with him for the Phoenix Throne. She tells Teclis that he has to go to Middenheim and steal the Flame of Ulrich to bring Tyrion back to life, which causes Middenheim to fall instantly against Archaon and causes everyone there to die. And she also... so basically, if you hate Teclis for what he did in the end times, Lilith was the one who caused all of it. She caused the fall of Bretonnia, she caused the fall of Athel Loren, she caused the sinking of Ulthuan, she caused the falling of the Northern Empire. Lilith single-handedly caused half of the end times to occur by her own actions. Because she looked into the future and saw what was against her. She didn't even have confirmation the world was going to end. She just saw what the Dark Gods had up their sleeve and was like, we're fucked. So instead of her doing what was right and saying, we're going to make a last stand and try and defeat the gods once for all, she said, we're fucked, I'm going to get mine, and I'm going to kill everybody else. She knew for a fact that what she was doing in the end times was going to result in the destruction of the world, but she didn't care. Because all she wanted was to protect her new world, which ends up becoming the realm of Gairan and Age of Sigmar. So Lilith just fucked everybody. And it totally blew up in her face, by the way. For those of you who are like mad that she got what she wanted. No, she totally fucked herself. But once again, the important part is that this version of Lilith is exclusive to the end times. Prior to the end times, Lilith is one of the best gods in the entire setting, because she is one of the only gods who actively does everything she can to make the world a better place against the realm of chaos and against elves, against a lot of things. Because let's even look at 8th edition. So 8th edition, sorry, we'll do another fight in a second. I just want to get through this. So if we just look at 8th edition, Bretonia never got an 8th edition book, right? They only have 6th edition. And if you go back to prior editions, whether or not Lilith was an elven god was a huge mystery. And they kept it very, like, it could be one way, it could be the other. And no matter which way you believed, it didn't really add up. Well, in 8th edition, they essentially reveal that Lilith is indeed the Bretonian's god. But when she is pretending to be the Lady of the Lake, she is Ladriel, Lady of Mist, daughter of Mist. And Ariel's like, I know she's an elven... Like, Ariel feels very strongly that Lilith is an elven god, but she doesn't know who she is, and she can't quite put her finger on it. That version of Lilith, and for those of you who don't know, the End Times, or 8th edition retconned a lot of lore, not necessarily in bad ways, but the 3 elf books are a little much, but most of the books were retconned a little bit to make way for the End Times. But the elf books, which were written by Matt Ward, who, if you know anything about Games Workshop, Matt Ward is like one of the most hated people in the world for Games Workshop people, or people who enjoy reading Games Workshop lore. Lilith in that book cared so much about Bretonia that she basically nearly went to blows with Ariel multiple times protecting Bretonia from the Wood Elves. Like, Ladriel had a huge investment in Bretonia and was not at all interested in protecting the Wood Elves from the world, because Ladriel considered the Wood Elves to be a bunch of dicks, which they were. You know, the Wood Elves were more than happy to help out Bretonia, but only for their own personal gain, not because what they were doing was right. And Ladriel was having none of that shit. Like, when Orion went on a big rampage, and ended up killing a bunch of Bretonians because he was basically, like, having a mood spell because the person who he was reincarnated as went totally crazy. Orion entered a chapel of the Lady of the Lake and was basically like, I'm going to burn this place down because fuck all these humans. And Ladriel appeared, and it's not recorded what she said to him, but whatever she said to him fucked him up so bad that he immediately retreated with his entire army, went right back to Athelloren, went straight to the Kingsglade, and committed suicide. Because she was done with his shit. That version of the Lady of the Lake is fucking awesome. She is a badass, and she does crazy shit to protect Bretonia from just the stupidest crap in the world. You know, that's the Lady of the Lake who basically, when, I forget what her name is off the top of my tongue, but the Warhammer version of the Maid of Orleans, oh shit, what's her name? I should know this. Joan of Arc, there we go. The Warhammer version of Joan of Arc, whose name is Rapunzel de Leonette or something, the Lady of the Lake's the one that came to her and was like, hey, you gotta fight off this Nurgle invasion that's coming for us. You're it, girl. And the Lady of the Lake was super proactive and just a badass. That's the version of Lilith that I like. The End Times version, not so much. Alright, so everyone wants to see a skink army. Let's do this. Sorry, that was a long-winded answer. Hashit is the one true god. Oop. Not Midland. Alright, so we're gonna run a lizard. We're gonna run an all skink army. So we're gonna take a Slawn on foot. We're up against orcs. Alright, let's take a high magic Slawn. Let's take Tempest, Arcane Unforging, Apotheosis, and Soul Quench. Take both of these. Oh god, I really want Fiery Convocation against Greenskins. 161, no thanks. Alright, and then we need Skink Chief. And we need another Skink Chief to be our assassin boys. And we'll give one of them the War Drums. Oh, wait, no, Skinks only. And then we need Skinks! Lots of Skinks! And then we're going to need at least 3 units of Chameleon Skinks. Let's actually grab a few units of Skink Cohorts. And then I'm going to need 2 units of Croxagores, which count as Skinks! They're Skink associated. I need some Pterodon Riders. And then... I need some Stegodons. I need some Stegodons, boy! Let's grab a big Stegodon, boy. And then let's grab one more unit of Skink Cohorts, and then we're just gonna upgrade them a whole bunch. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Slon Palanquin, sorry. Do I want to see the Dawizar in Total War Warhammer? Obviously. I need my Dawizar hats, bro. Chaos Orcs. No. The answer is no. Nope. No, no, and nope. Gork and Mork all the way. There are no Chaos Orcs. Not in the modern version of Warhammer. They existed at one point, but they are not... they don't exist in current Warhammer. Warhammer Fantasy. They probably exist in 40k, knowing 40k's dumb shit. Oh man, this army's gonna be rough. Especially against orcs. They're gonna beat the brakes off of us. Alright, so we've got our Skink front line. We're gonna have some cohorts, hopefully lessen their charge impact. But we do have our Croxagore line. That does give us some hope. As long as they don't have big ones. If we can get them on some, excuse me, Black Orcs, they will beat the brakes off Black Orcs. Alright. And then I'm going to put my Pterodons to either side. And we've got a big dino boy who's going to be protecting our Slon. And the Skink Chief with the War Drums, which is this one, is going to hang out above our army because the War Drums give leadership, charge bonus, and speed, but only if he is not engaged in melee. So I like to put him on a Pterodon and just fly above it. And he can also, like, snipe enemy lords. This one will be our actual hunter. Chameleon Skinks we're going to just throw out in this forest and hopefully not get spotted. I imagine they're going to have Azhag, but we will see. Let's be nice. Good luck, have fun. I'm really better about that, but I just kind of forgot. And then let's put you guys in a group, and then you, and you. There you go. Oop. So let's go ahead and move towards them. Is that Azhag? It is Azhag. That's good and bad. It's good because that means I can... Oh, look at all these juicy Black Orcs. This almost looks like Gobbo King's build with all the Spider Riders. So we want to bring our chameleons up this way. We want to slowly bring in the Pterodons, because otherwise he's going to snipe the shit out of them. Azhag is pretty powerful. He's difficult to fuck with as well, because he's really fast. He's probably looking at my army like, what the fuck? So we're going to start harassing him. And I'm even going to commit these skinks to harassing him. Alright, so we're gonna... Our goal here is to have the regular skinks eat the charge of the Black Orcs. Oh, run away! Run away! No! Do not attack! Flee! I don't know why they don't run. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and bring our actual Pterodons around. I'm gonna have my skink start... Chameleon skink start... Okay, I'm gonna fly over here. Oop, fall back. Alright, Azhag's already taken a pretty good beating. We're just gonna stay on him. Alright, that's good. They're pouring some shots into me. I'm going to fall back a bit. Proxigors to the fore. I'm really bad at micromanaging right now. Pull back. Got some skinks back here. We're going to move up. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and countercharge with all of our skinks. Alright. Good, good, good. Oh, wow, they got insta-routed. Okay, that's what I want, the Rusty Errors. They are a prime target. So let's go ahead and pop a good old Tempest on Azhag here to hold him in place. And make him regret everything about his life. We're also going to throw an Arcane Unforging on him for some extra bonus damage. And I'm going to drop some rocks, which will pretty much instantly get rid of those assholes. Oop, flip this way. Going to go ahead and have the Stegodon commit to a bit more of a fight. I don't really have a good answer for all this shooting nonsense. Alright, so nice big batch of Black Orcs here. Let's do that. Throw down a force field. Just gonna keep avoiding these orcs. Throw that down. Charge! Charge! Okay, Chameleon Skinks, let's go ahead and get over here so we can start to looking to engage. I'm just gonna keep harassing those piggies. Alright, and we're just gonna keep on as... Man, he's taking surprisingly little damage. Alright, we're gonna have our chameleons basically just melee stance and fuck these guys up. Go ahead and heal yourself. Where's my other skink chief? Alright, he's buffing. Alright, the Stegodon's doing pretty good here. He's taking quite a bit of damage, so let's go ahead and pop some heals on him. And I'm going to see if I can get another Arcane Unforging on this lovely big guy over here. If I can, that'll put him in a pretty bad space. Alright, the pigs have committed to the battle, which kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? We need the Stegodon over in this mess. More skinks! More skinks! If we can kill Azhag, we might have a hope. We're just going to keep on him. Oh, did I accidentally... No. It's weird. I thought I cast something else. Die! Alright, so that'll stop him from casting anything for a bit. Throw that over here. We're just going to keep applying... Okay, good job. We're just going to keep applying pressure where we can. Keep on Azhag. Let's fire... Oh, can I get him? Can I get him? Yeah! Get stomped! Alright, he's dead. That'll kill him. Alright, so I'm actually going to float my big button here. Because why not, right? The Stegodon's going to keep wailing on Black Orcs, because that's all he's... Alright, so Azhag is dead. We're going to have the Skink Chiefs harass enemy shooters. I'm not being targeted by shooting attacks just yet. I think they're targeting other junk. Yeah, go ahead and chase off those Black Orcs. We're going to fire... nothing, I guess. I need more magic! Oh, man, if I can get that... Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, that terror's really getting to him. Awesome, 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 awesome. Alright, so each of my skink units is going to chase a different Black Orc pack. We're going to bring in Big Daddy to help with these piggies. Speaking of piggies, I will meet them in battle, because I'm not afraid of no pigs. I'm going to pop this, and then I'm going to pop this. And then I'm going to pop Banishment right on those guys. And they're big, so it's not going to knock them over, so it's going to just do a ton of damage. Ooh! Ooh, get fucked! Get fucked! Woo! We did it! I never doubted it for an instant. Not at all. Another Salon dunk. Well done, us. That was fucking great. Alright, so MVP was definitely the Salon. Oh man, Asshat got fucking dumpstered. I don't know what he was doing. He should have just gone after the Salon with Asshat. If he had come after me in melee, I wouldn't have been able to cast fast enough to kill him. Wow, that was something. Gosh. Okay, let me check. The guy must be confused as hell. So he lost a bunch of skinks. Yeah, he probably is. He's probably sitting there like, what the fuck? How did I lose to skinks? Oh Lord. All right, let's answer some more questions. Can zoom in when there's another air battle? Yes. Sorry, I'll try and be better about cinematic shots. I'm pretty bad at that. Alright. Let's beat them with contemptuous ease. My catchphrase. Alright, let's see here. How is Sotek winning? Because I'm that fucking awesome. How are the 8 peak videos coming along? They haven't even started yet. I'm working on some other stuff. 8 peaks is, I'm hoping, will be done. The 5 videos I'm going to do on it, which should hopefully be done by Christmas. How can Lizardmen fight against Chaos? I'm new to lore, but aren't Chaos immaterial? Okay, so Chaos is an immaterial thing. They're not really. It's hard to classify them as beings when they're in the realm of Chaos. But the thing about Chaos is when they come to the material plane, they become made of raw. Although they're made of magic, they're also this. They have to take on a physical form, so they can be attacked, killed, blasted, whatever you want to call it. But the Lizardmen are actually the best equipped race to deal with Chaos because they actually understand Chaos on a level that no one else does. Because the Lizardmen were the prime custodians of the world, and when the first invasion happened of Chaos, or what we call the Great Cataclysm, during the Great Cataclysm, the Lizardmen did 99% of the fighting. Eventually they were ground down to the point where they were losing pretty badly, and the High Elves ended up saving the world. But the Lizardmen went from a global spanning empire to only controlling a few, 2 continents. Basically the Southlands, which is equivalent to Africa, and Lustria, which is the equivalent to South America, because the Lizardmen had such unbelievable losses against the demons, because the demons cannot die permanently, except for incredibly rare circumstances, like single digits rare circumstances. Demons always come back. So when the first Great Cataclysm happened, the Lizardmen could just keep killing demons in their billions, but they just kept coming, because the moment you killed one, it pops back to the Forge of Souls, and after a quick little redoubt, it pops back in, and so it just never stops, because they are a combination of magic and emotion given physical form. So as long as there are emotions on the physical plane, demons can manifest, because they are emotion given form, and completely and utterly bastardized into horrific extremes of emotion. Because they embody all good and bad emotions, but they're taken to such a violent extreme that they only come out as horrific. But yeah, Lizardmen are basically the super anti-chaos. Never say Slon Dunk again if you value the fans. Kolek versus Mazdamundi, and the lore, it would be an interesting contest. Honestly, it would be interesting. In this game, I'm pretty sure I get spanked. How much lore is there about the Eastern Human Realms? If you know where to look, you can find some pretty interesting lore about the Eastern Realms. But you have to, you have to cast a very wide net and read a lot of books. You need to read the Gotrek and Felix series. You need to read all of the Ogre Kingdoms books. If there's a book that has Ogre Kingdoms in it, it's going to have stuff about the Eastern Realms. So the army books, the Gorfag Maneater personal series, the Tarmakon Throne of Chaos campaign, which is where Chaos Wars were reintroduced to 8th edition and were made legal in tournaments again. That book contains an actual army. Like Cathayans actually fight against Tarmakon's horde. So it has a really interesting... because he gets like really close to their border and they don't appreciate it. They basically counter-invade him. So if you want to read a really interesting story about how Cathay fights and the kind of weapons they use, that's a good one. Bunch of stuff. And then if you're looking for wider stuff, there are books that exist that tell more, but they're few and far between, and you have to really read them. Like, if you... Probably the best book I've come across recently is for the Warhammer Fantasy roleplay game 2nd edition, which was the best edition so far. 3rd edition was a nightmare. 2nd edition, if you read the Warhammer Fantasy roleplay companion book, which is for GMs, it contains a pretty notable section about each of the Eastern Realms. So you might check that out. Also, Clan Eshin is probably the most notable Eastern-themed faction, besides the Ogre Kingdoms. The Ogre Kingdoms are basically really big fat Mongols. When Nagash tried to reanimate all the dead in the world, did the Slann do anything? They tried. Nagash was basically, at that point, insanely powerful, and he was literally sitting on top of a just bonkers amount of warpstone. He was essentially a god in that moment. But the thing about Nagash is his ritual was so barely getting off the ground when Alcadizar chopped off his hand that the Slann probably didn't even have time to react to what was going on. The Slann take a very long time to do something, most of the time. They're not very good at reacting to snap incidents like Nagash essentially was. I'm sure if Nagash's ritual had lasted longer, they almost certainly would have reacted. I don't think they would have been able to... They probably would have been able to basically save parts of the world, but if Nagash's ritual had succeeded, he would have been a god. Like, he would have been in control of every single corpse on the planet. So, it's good he didn't succeed, because even the Slann couldn't have stopped him at that point. What happened to Sotek in the end times? Nobody knows. He never showed up. Make Quetzalcoatl great again. Dude, I wish we could get the Codals. Codals are awesome little monsters. Yep, Games Workshop are history freaks, and they're also fantasy trope freaks. They steal both, combine them together, and that's what makes Warhammer such an interesting universe. Sotek, why not create some kind of book guide on YouTube? That is not a bad idea, actually. Is Nagash more powerful than the Slann? Only in specific instances. The Slann are more powerful than Nagash. They are... I would say, the Slann are split up into multiple generations depending on when they were created, and the older they are, the stronger they are. Nagash would get utterly butt-fucked by a second-generation Slann like Mazdamundi. Nagash is probably on par... I'd probably put Nagash somewhere in the ballpark of like a 4th-generation Slann. 5th is the weakest, by the way, and 1st is the strongest, but all the 1st-generation Slann are dead. No, Mazdamundi would put Nagash in a dumpster. Unless Nagash was in Nagashazar and had all of his armies and all of his warpstone and just, like, was at full fucking power. But Nagash is the most powerful human sorcerer that's ever existed. And he is more powerful than any of the elven sorcerers. Teclis is strong enough that he would be able to go toe-to-toe with Nagash, but Nagash would probably defeat him if Nagash had all the shit. Because Nagash is just absurdly strong. Teclis, if Teclis had to fight Nagash, he would be on par for him magic-wise, but the problem with Nagash is that he would just get close to Teclis, and once he got close, he would destroy him. Slann would probably whip Nagash most of the time. Powerful Slann. There's only 5 second-generation Slann still alive, and there's only, probably, a couple score third-generation Slann, so, maybe 50 or 60 of them left. Those are the only Slann who could probably go toe-to-toe with Nagash and successfully beat him. Any Slann lesser than that would really struggle. Nagash was insanely powerful at the end times, but he fucked up. Because, he didn't fuck up, Teclis fucked him up. Because the thing with Nagash is Nagash tried to eat the Wind of Death, the actual, entire lore of death. He was trying to nom it. The purple wind of Shaiish, and he got super close. If it hadn't been for Teclis messing with him and Archon and Manfred kind of goofing as well, Nagash would have succeeded, and if he had successfully consumed one of the 8 winds, he would have been able to go toe-to-toe with Chaos. Yeah. He would have been able to because of the nature of what he is, in that he's a necromancer, so, he's able to create entire armies that follow his every thought and will without a moment's hesitation and are perfectly orderly, and because the undead do not feed chaos, yeah, he would have been able to go toe-to-toe with the Chaos Gods. But Nagash failed because Teclis essentially poisoned him. And so Nagash wasn't able to consume the Wind of Death, and then when he finally purified his body and was about to consume the Wind of Death, Nurgle blew up his pyramid. And so Nagash lost a ton of his own power and was not able to ascend to godhood. He was still the most powerful of the incarnates by, hand over heel. The only incarnate who could have beaten Nagash was Sigmar at that point. But Nagash would, have not been able to defeat Archaon by himself in the end times, for instance. End times Nagash is more powerful than any of his iterations. End times Nagash, post getting all of his shit back, he could have easily gone toe-to-toe with any of the Slann. The only Slann who probably would have whipped his ass would be second generation. If he had eaten the Wind of Death, even they would have not stood a chance against him. But in the form of the end times that he takes, he is more powerful than most of the Slann. Mazdamundi still would have destroyed him, but Mazdamundi is so insanely powerful that he can completely alter the geometry of the planet of Earth and doesn't break a sweat. Someone who can create an entire mountain range is just a fuck you, I don't want to deal with you right now, is kind of ridiculous. Oh, I love Cetra. Cetra is a badass character. Are there any other Skaven clans that could rival the Major Four, at least? Yeah, there are plenty that come close. The Warlord clans. On the Council of 13, there are 12 clans, and each of them are incredibly powerful. The Big Four are only really... The thing about the Big Four is, yes, they are insanely powerful, but the reason they're insanely powerful is because each of them are innovators. And they bring something that all of Skavendom puts to use. But, if you want... For instance, if you want the religious control of the Skaven, you need the Greyseer clan, who are easily just as powerful as the Four. If you want to have the best storm vermin in the world, you got to deal with Clan Moors, who are incredibly powerful. So each of the clans on the Council of 13 is almost the equal of one another, but for different reasons. Some of them because they have the most troops, some of them because they have the best troops, some of them because they have a very specific focus, and some of them because they just have ass loads of money. I mean, ass loads of money. Alright, I think we're ready for another game. I haven't seen anyone requesting anything, though. Does anyone have a request on what kind of goofy-ass build I should take? We won with the all-skink build, so that was incredible. And we're probably going to wrap this up after this next game. I'm getting pretty tired. I was not planning to stream tonight. I was just seeing if I could do it, and it ended up taking me like 3 button clicks to get it to work, so that was surprising. Anybody? All goblin. I am. Oh my god! All goblins. I am not Gobble King. Oh Jesus! All goblins. This is gonna be rough. I would never run all gyrocopters. That is toxic. I don't ever want to be that guy. All right, let's do all goblins. That sounds like fun. All right, so let's do Skarsnik. I'm not gonna take the Broader. And then I want a Night Goblin Shaman. And I want Goblin Big Boss. And then we need goblins. So let's do. Let's see, Unbreakable. I need the Rusty Arrows. We need a good amount of archers. We need the Hammer of Gork. We'll get the Ragnarok Queen. Mage Marauders. Spider Riders. Then I want another group of Fanatics. And then we need 2 Nasty Skulkers. And then we'll pick up 2 regular Goblins. And let's try and upgrade the Nasty Skulkers. Okie dokie. I'm sticking vampires. This is gonna be terrible. all that fear and terror is just gonna destroy me. Well, welp. I got schemes. The Gobble King is not with me. How do I feel about Archon the Black? He's a really interesting character. He's basically mini Nagash. I've always found it weird that he's in the Tomb King's Army book and not, excuse me, not the Vampire Counts book, because in my opinion he fits better with the Vampire Counts. The only reason he's in the Tomb King's book is because he lives in Nehekara. And was like part of that war. But he's a master in the lore of death. He's a super hardcore necromancer. And he like has a positive relationship with most vampires. Like, not a good relationship, but it's positive. So I've always felt he belongs in the Vampire Count book and makes much more sense there. But for whatever reason, he's in the Tomb King's book. Even though he's not a Tomb King in any sense of the word. Like, there's nothing remotely Tomb King-y about him. Goblins. Our arrows will blot out the evil sun. Yep. Because if you don't know, goblins think the sun is evil because it's bright. And it hurts their eyes, so they say it's evil. I have a ton of archers. Someone's saying I didn't have enough. It's ridiculous. I have plenty. Let's do it this way. That way people don't come near me. My rusty arrows, hopefully. Alright, this is actually not going to work. We want to spread them out in blocks. And if you're wondering why I put them in blocks, it's because that way if someone can charge through my lines, they do not manage to kill all my archers. And we're going to back them up a little so I have space to put my melee units. So we're going to put 2 units of gobos right smack in the front to draw attention. And then I want my fanatics on the wider ends. Skulkers. Skulkers. And fanatics. And then we'll have a fast cab contingent. And we'll put this giant fuck-off spider in the center. I love Ragnarok spiders. One of the things I've been pushing really hard for is I really want a Ragnarok mount for the Great Goblin Shaman, so I can take an all-forest goblin themed army. Alright, we're gonna put the big boss. We'll put him here to guard Skarsnik. Alright, so we're gonna do this, do this, so I can move them all together, put you all in a group. Alright, here we go! What is this? This looks... Oh, they have a Terrorgeist, okay. I was like, this doesn't look like enough troops. No, we're gonna fire at the Sternsman. That way we can get some kills, and we're gonna go to about there. There we go. And then we're gonna ride these guys around and start harassing. If I win this, I'm gonna be fucking amazed. Well, this isn't good. See, they should all be moving the same speed, but for some reason they're running ahead, which is not ideal. Who is this? Oh, Lord, he brought Vlad. Who, boy, I don't know how we're gonna kill Vlad. I'm being totally upfront with you guys. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and put our archers into group 2 and have them focus down the Terrorgeist. And let's... Okay. Night Goblins. Oh, God, it hurts. Turn that off. Shoot the Terrorgeist. No, I need y'all up here. Put in the big boss on these nasty little things. We're gonna bring you guys around back, shoot them in the back. I'm gonna get on this Vargolf. You get on this Vargolf. Let's summon some spiderlings back over here. That's not where I should have summoned them. Please don't summon them. Thank God. Summon them back here. Where's my wizard? My wizard's over here. So let's go ahead and throw down an itchy nuisance. Gobblobbers get crunked. Is that a word? I feel like it is. Pop wand of jet. Get rid of these fucking bats. Alright, we're just gonna shoot. Focus the Vargolf, focus the Vargolf. Go ahead and pop wah. I don't know what I'm doing, and it's obvious. Oh shoot, fanatics. Oh shit! Here we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, I say. This Vargolf is dumpstering me really hard. I need to get away from you. Alright, the bats are dying. That's nice. Terrorgeist is being a Terrorgeist. I don't even care. Okay, let's focus down the Vargolf. That thing needs to die. Okay, I'm gonna come over here. Go, spiders! Go, spider rangers! Get the archers moving. Get back in here! Charge! Probably should have protected my catapult a bit better than I did. Did he break all of them? Oh wait, that's not my catapults. They're there. Just keep throwing down shit. Oh, I thought I got all the bats, and yet there's more bats here. I thought I got them all. This is much harder for me because I never play goblins. This is rough. This is rough bananas. That's not a phrase. Go ahead and pop that. And I'm gonna run away. We're gonna run away. Everybody run away. Okay, we've got this son of a gun up. Let's start firing. Pull back. Everybody shoot the stupid bat. The big bat. Alright, the Vargolf is super close to being dead. Come on, fanatics. Right. There. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Brings a tear to my horrible eyes. I'm not sure what about my eyes I decided was horrible, but you get the point. Alright. Oh my god, we're out of arrows? Are you serious? Alright, let's go ahead and start cycle charging. How is that thing still alive? Let's run our archers in different directions. I don't know how this thing's still firing. This is much closer than I feel like it should be. Yeah, that's fine. Just run away and shoot. Run away and shoot. More spiders! Chase! Man, I really wish I had my prodder. Now that I don't. Do I have fanatics back? No, they're currently running. Let's go ahead and run in there. Keep focusing down Batman over here. Split up! Split up! No, not you. Not you. You fire there. Okay, let's get the big boss out of there. Pop potion of full hardiness so I don't shatter. Leave! I'm gonna get Skarsnik on this thing. Not you, not you. No, 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 no. Shoot. There. Man, that boss is just not leaving. Okay, Skarsnik should be able to dumpster this Vargolf. Alright, let's throw some fanatics that way. More goblins! More goblins! Itchy nuisance! I need to get out of here. Let's go ahead and focus catapult over there. Send the spiders over here. Man, that Terrorgeist is just not... Why aren't you running? Run! Run away! Run! For all you that's good and holy on this earth, just get out of there. Come on, Skarsnik, let's go! Let's go! Oh god, of course I run the one direction where there's like an assload of... Okay, let's go ahead and pop that so it slows down people's speed. Get away from me! Okay, let's see if I can poke this Terrorgeist and kill it. Poke! Okay, good. Split! Okay, we're gonna get Skarsnik the hell out of dodge. I don't know if I have anything to kill Vlad. Oh, my puppy has entered the room, which means my door is open, which means people are going to get annoyed at me for talking loudly. Come on, die, you fat bastard. Oh, I shattered my wizard. That's very nice. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, get dunked.
Gonna kill him! I'm on it! Moving fast! Gonna stab him! Let's fight! Who books it? Running! Licking it!
There's so many zombies everywhere. Rude.
Licking it! Where's your bones? Move it!
Get out of there.
Running! Get running! Where's the key? Whoa! Moving fast! Running! Where's the key?
Running out of ammo.
Wolf Riders!
Oh, I may lose this, but I'm putting up a good fight. How many casts of that stupid spell does he have left?
Get him! Yeah! Stick him!
Now let's go ahead and commit.
Goblins!
This is good to have him this bunched up, though, especially since I've got a.
Goblin is
I'm just gonna keep him safely. Actually, let's just kind of take it easy because I've got siege weaponry. It's just pounding away at him right now. All right, let's go ahead and start focusing our shots on Vlad. We need Vladdy Daddy to start taking damage. Man, if I had my prodder, I'd be so much happier right now. Actually, turn this back on. So Vlad. Oh wow, Vlad's not even close to his healing cap. Does he have his ring? I don't see it. Wait, is that it? Yep, he does have the Consort. The Von Karstein ring. Oof, yikes. Shoot him! Shoot him! Oh, you're coming for me? Oh, whoops. Where did I go? Haha! Sucker! Run away from the zombies! Run away from the zombies! This is turning into a stupidly ridiculous fight. Just outrun them, they're zombies, nobody cares! Hold your fire. What's my leadership buff? No, I don't have a leadership buff. Fuck. Can you get rid of these guys so it's just him by himself? Does he cause terror? No, he only causes fear. Wonder how much magic he has left. That's what's blowing my mind right now, is he seems to have, like, infinite magic.
Let's get him! Moving fast!
Because the tricky part is, I'm trying to wait for the zombies to finish disintegrating.
Let's get stabbed!
Can I cycle charge Vlad? I think I'm too light.
Moving fast!
I don't think we have a choice. I think we have to commit.
You first! Let's fight!
Alright, Vladdy Daddy, you want to dance? Let's dance.
Dead! Right! Get out to midnight! Gonna kill him!
There's no way in hell we're gonna kill him.
Ready to scratch!
Now, if I had a goblin great shaman on an arachnarok spider, then maybe we'd be looking at something here.
Crooked move! Warlord of 8 peaks! Attack!
Get him, Gobbler. What is that ability?
Got me, brother!
Oh, Master of Beguilement. Oh, shit. Okay, a lot of fighting then. I'm not gonna fight him while Ah, okay, we lost. GG, y'all. GG. We tried. Hey, Chloe Bear. Hey, big girl. Well, we could have done better, but we also could have done worse. I didn't protect the Ragnarok Queen very well, would probably be the biggest criticism of myself. Look at that! Look at those fanatics. Those fanatics kicked ass. 197 kills. Yeah, I think I had too many things going on. I didn't do a good job protecting my wizard. He should have easily survived the entire battle. I did a bad job protecting my big boss, my wizard, and my Ragnarok. Those are my biggest flaws. He actually would have had the fight a lot easier if he had chased the Hammer of Gork off the battlefield with his Terrorgeist. Or, what he should have done is when he broke the Hammer of Gork, he should have sent a Fellbat unit to chase it off. But, still, good fight. Vlad is super scary, still, if you don't have a Monster Lord to cycle charge him. I'm not too worried about how I did, though. Let's see, what is my rank these days? It's probably not very good. I was in the top 50 for a while, but then I stopped playing as much, and if you don't play a bunch, your rank decreases. 434. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. That dude has 475 wins. I can't even imagine how much fucking of this game he plays. That blows my mind. I don't know how someone can play the game that much. Well, single or multiplayer. I can play single player that much. I think I have more hours than like 95% of most people. I think is what the number is. I mean, Vlad could have lost morale when surrounded, but the problem is he wouldn't have suffered the penalty for stronger enemies nearby, which is a big part of being surrounded. I didn't have anything that could actually threaten Vlad. And plus, he wasn't even close to his healing cap. And he never popped his ring. Where's your Troglodon? You mean my Troglodon? I don't know yet. Hopefully we get it eventually. I mean, it's... I can see why you may feel like it's kind of dumb Vlad can take out 6 units of goblins, but they're fucking goblins. What do you expect? Like, I could have tried running away from him and just cycle charging him with my wolves the rest of the game, but that's no fun. What kind of puppy do I have? Well, she's not really a puppy anymore, but I have a dog. She is a Great Pyrenees White Lab mix. And her name is Chloe, and she is my big girl. What's my total hours played? Let me tab out. Let's see. On Warhammer 2, I have about... Let's see. Warhammer 2... 3... I have 390 hours. I have 390 hours on Total War Warhammer 2. And on Warhammer 1, I have 1,155 hours. Try snacking on that. Nosril, you have more hours than I do then. Somehow. Get a life, man. Go outside sometimes. It's good for your skin. Get some sunlight. How do lizardmen feel in Total War? Pretty fucking good. They're, if anything, a bit overpowered. Most factions do not have a reliable way to deal with dinosaurs. What units could see a cut from the Lizardman roster? Any unit they want. I mean, the units that we're missing for the Lizardman right now are Troglodons, Salamanders, Razordons, Ripperdactyls. Jungle Swarms don't count because swarms are not a thing in this game right now. I think that's it. And the Ark of Sotek Bastildon. But they gave us a different version, so what are you going to do? Off to work. Have a good day, Mr. Master. I actually think I'm going to wrap it for tonight because it's like 2:30 a.m. here. So, thank you all so much for joining me for today's test stream. And hey, somebody gave me 5... What's the European currency again? Euros? 5 euros or whatever, so I made money. Hooray! So, thank you all for your support. I appreciate you coming by. I'll probably be streaming fairly regularly. And the good news is, I know that it gives you a notification now, so I'm probably not going to announce my streams. I might use the feature where you can like schedule them in advance, but I'm probably not going to announce them. So, you'll just get a notification on your phone. And I'll probably make a video announcing that for people like go to my subscribe thing and hit the little bell so they know when I come online. This is way better than Twitch, because Twitch, problem with Twitch is it's really fucking hard to let people know I'm going to be on there, so I usually only get like 10 people there. I think one time I hit over 100 somehow, but that was when I was streaming pretty regularly. Well, Justin Mackey, I like not dying from sleep deprivation, so... Get off my lawn. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go to bed. Chloe's giving me side-eye really hard right now because she sleeps next to me when I go to bed, so she's probably pissed I'm up this late. She's like, I'm fucking exhausted, let's go. Alright, yeah, so thank you all guys for watching. I should have a new lore video out soon. Hopefully in the next couple days. If you're a patron. If you're a patron, it'll be the next couple days. If you're not a patron, it'll probably be next week. Man, people from everywhere. So, I hope I get... See, I'll probably be on again tomorrow. Probably not as late. I got on tonight at like 10 p.m. just to check if I could do it. I'll probably get on at a reasonable hour tomorrow. So, thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye. I should probably hit the stop stream.